So, hello and welcome everyone to Infinity Learn by Sri Chaitanya, and I am Ravindram, your physics faculty. So, today, as yesterday we did the analysis of the paper, and a lot of analysis was true, because as we can see here, as we will see today in the solution of while I am going to solve the paper, you are going to see that the questions that I said were there in the paper and the concepts which I said were also there in the paper. Okay. So, today I am going to start discussing the solution of every problem from part 1. Okay. So, let's begin without wasting any more time. So, first of all, there are given that two spherical stars A and B have densities rho and rho b. Okay. So, two stars are given initially, both have got the same radius. Okay, both have got the same radius. Densities are given rho a and rho b, obviously, and masses are given ma and mb, right? So, densities are given, masses are given, radius are same. So, initially let's say radius is r only. Okay, radius is initially what? R here, right? Now, what they are saying that one more relationship is also given, that mb is equals to 2 times of ma. Okay, so obviously since volumes are same, so we can say that rho b is also is equals to 2 times rho a. ये तो बोल ही सकते हैं, we can say yes, at the density, if the masses are mb is equals to twice of ma, then density rho b will also be equals to twice of rho. Anyway, so this is the thing that we can derive at least from this much. Now, due to the interaction process, what is happening? Star A loses some of its mass. So, A loses some of its mass. So, some of the volume will go from here on this mass, right? Loses some of its mass so that its radius becomes half, and while its spherical shape is retained, and it retains its spherical shape, and its density remains rho a. Okay, fine. Then they are asking, if a particle is there on planet A, sphere A and sphere B, what is the ratio of the escape velocities, Vb upon Va, and this is given and we have to figure out the value of n. Okay, so the question is clear. So, let's start solving this question. First of all, this much is understood. Now, let me start it. So, from here we will say, let's talk about A. So, initially radius was r, okay, and after removal of some mass, now radius is r by 2. So, obviously what will be the mass? Let's check out. So, initially you will say that mass was ma, which was rho a into 4 by 3 pi r cube, right? Now, what will be the mass here left? You will say, sir, the mass that will be here left will be, let's say, ma dash. So, it will be how much? Rho a into 4 by 3 pi into r by 2 whole cube. Okay, r by 2 whole cube. So, that is going to be what? 1 by 8. So, it will be ma by 8. That means 1/8 of the mass is left now, and 7/8 of the mass of A has been transferred to B. Okay, is it clear? Now, so this is point number 1. So, what is the remaining mass here? M by 8. So, we will say VA will be how much? Root over 2 G MA dash by radius will be R by 2. So, do it. It will be what? 2 G MA upon 8 into R by 2 under root, what will this be? So, this will be GMA by 2R, GMA upon 2R. I hope this much is clear, everyone. It's clear to everyone, right? So, this is velocity of escape velocity on the sphere A after the removal of some of the mass. ठीक है, तो कितना mass, how much mass has been, how much mass is remaining? Ma by 8. How much mass has been removed? So, let's write down removed mass also. So, it will be Ma minus Ma by 8, which is what? 7 Ma by 8. Okay, 7 Ma by 8. Now, let's understand. This is sphere B, right? And on this sphere B, we have a layer of what? 7 Ma by 8. So, already MB is here, which is obviously 2 Ma, and this is what? 7 Ma by 8. So, total mass is this, and MB is what? 2 Ma. Yes or no? We have already studied this thing. MB is 2 Ma. Okay, fine. So, total mass here we know, but the only problem or the only thing that we have to calculate here is this radius, the new radius. So, let's call this new radius as R1. Okay, this new radius as R1. So, can we see that how much volume is transferred? Okay, so what is this volume that has been transferred? So, you will say, sir, volume transferred is 4 by 3 pi r cube minus 4 by 3 pi r by 2 whole cube. This is the amount of volume that has been transferred, right? So how much is this? It is 7 by 8 into 4 by 3 pi r cube. So this is the volume that has been transferred here. And what is this volume here? This volume, this particular volume. Let's calculate. So this volume according to this particular diagram will be how much? 4 by 3 pi into r1 cube minus r cube, right? So this is the volume of this shell, and that is the volume that has been transferred from there, right? So what was the volume after the removal? 4 by 3 pi into r by 2 whole cube. So how much was removed? 4 by 3 pi r cube minus 4 by 3 pi r by 2 whole cube. So it is what? 7 by 8 times this. So what we will do, we will equate them and get the value of r1 from there. So obviously when you equate, so 4 by 3 pi will get cancelled. So it will be somewhat like this: 7 by 8 r cube is equals to r1 cube minus r cube, right? So it will be how much? 15 by 8 r cube. So r1 cube will be 15 by 8 r cube. So r1 will be 15 to the power 1 by 3 upon 2 times r. Is it clear? So this is what? This is the value of r1. Okay. Now you know r1. Now it is very easy to find out Vb. For Vb, what we will do? How much mass is there? 2 Ma. How much mass is there? 7 Ma by 8. What is this radius? r1, which is what? 15 to the power 1 by 3 into r by 2. Am I correct? Okay, so we know this much thing, these many things. So what is Vb? So Vb will be root over 2 into G into total mass upon r1, right? Now what is total mass inside? You will say, sir, 2 Ma plus 7 Ma upon 8. So it will be 23 Ma upon 8. Let's put it there. So 23 Ma upon 8. And what is R1? You can put the value of R1 also. So what will be R1? R1 will be 15 into 15 to the power 1 by 3 R upon 2 here. Okay. So I guess from here you can get the answer. So if anything is missing, just let me know. 23 Ma by 8. Okay. So from here you can solve it and match the answer here with this thing. You take the ratio Vb by Va now. Okay, Vb upon Va. So let's go back here. What is Vb? Okay, so it will be Vb upon Va. So it will be root over 23 GMA upon 2 into 15 to the power 1 by 3 upon what is Va? Va is how much? Gm by 2R. Okay, so it will be Gma upon 2R, right? So Gmr cancelled, 2 cancelled, right? So it will be how much? 23 upon 15 to the power 1 by 3 under root, and this is equals to 10n upon 15 to the power 1 by 3 under root. If you compare, so what will be the value of n here? So Vb upon Va, the value of n is going to be 2.3. Okay, so you will write answer as 2.3. I hope you are understanding, guys, right? In case you have any doubt, you can ask in the chat box. Clear? So here mainly two things were important. First of all, that we have to understand how much volume is being transferred, or the volume transfer is taking place. Second, you have to find out the new radius on the sphere B, right? That is what is important here. Anyways, let's move on to the next question now. Okay, the minimum kinetic energy needed. Okay, so what is happening here? There is nitrogen alpha particle. So nitrogen plus alpha particle are fusing to give you hydrogen plus oxygen, right? Okay, so how we will find out? First of all, let's find out delta M here, mass defect. How much will that be? Final mass minus initial mass. What is the final mass they have given us? Okay, this 1.008 plus 19.003 minus, how much is that? 16.006. 16.006 plus how much is this? 4.003. 4.003. So let's find out how much will this be. Okay, 20.011 minus 20.09, right? So it will be 0.02 delta M, okay. .002 okay. Now this is known to us. Now what is the energy? Energy will be delta M into C square, energy of the reaction completely. So it will be 0.002 into, since it is given 930 mega electron volt per C square, and this is atomic mass unit. So 930 mega electron volts. Okay, is it okay? Clear? So 0.002 into 930, so it will be what? 2 by 1000 into 930, 0 will get cancelled. Okay, 93 into 2 is 186 upon 100 is 1.86 mega electron volts. But wait, this is not the right answer, right? The thing is, they are asking you about the minimum kinetic energy needed by an alpha particle to cause the reaction, okay? So this is the overall loss, right? This is the loss in energy. Now what happens, since fusion is taking place, so alpha particle will fuse with nitrogen atom, right? So what's going to happen here, the collision will be absolutely inelastic, and if the collision is absolutely inelastic, so we can say the loss in energy is equals to half into m1 m2 upon m1 plus m2 into u1 minus u2 whole square. Is it okay? Now what is mass of nitrogen given? 16 into 4 upon 16 plus 4 into velocity of alpha particle is u, let's take it not u, velocity of alpha particle, let's take it v, right? So v minus 0 because nitrogen is at rest. So what they have given, it is what, half into, if you see closely, half into 4 into v square into 16 by 20. So can you see that this is the kinetic energy of alpha particle only? So this is kinetic energy of the alpha particle that we wanted into 4 by 5. This is 1.86 mega electron volt. So what we will do, we will say the kinetic energy of the alpha particle will be 5 by 4 times 1.86 mega electron volt. Now solve it, and that is your answer. Clear everyone? Yes? So whatever the numerical value you get here, that will be your answer. Okay. So let's move ahead and discuss one more question. Next one. Okay, this is an easy question. So although this paper was a very lengthy paper, fine, it's advanced, so obviously we expect either it will be very tricky or it will be very lengthy. So the thing is, but this paper was both tricky and lengthy both, but there were some, you know, blossoming points like this. This was a point of relief. This was a very easy question. Just see the circuit and get your answer right. What you will do, see what they are asking here is the charge stored in C3. Charge stored in C3. Okay, cool. Let's move. C3. We are talking about this capacitor. So if you see, let's say this point is A, this point is B. So potential difference across AB is 2 volts. Can I shift A here also and B here also? There is nothing in between. Can I shift A here also and B here also? There is nothing in between. So whatever is the potential drop across this point AB will be the same potential drop here. So we know the capacitance C3, we know the potential drop is 2 volts. Okay. So what is the potential drop? 2 volts, right? And what is the capacitance here? C3 is 4 microfarad. So what will be the charge Q3 on it? It will be C3 into V, I guess 8 microcoulombs, right? So this will be the charge on C3. Is it okay, students? Are you able to understand this? Yes, fantastic. So this was the solution of this particular circuit. Let's move on. Okay, this was also an interesting question but easy. Interesting but easy. So what we are going to do here, they have given us a rod. This angle is 2 pi by 3, so this angle is 60 degrees, right? This angle is 60 degree and we have to find out what is the value of alpha here. So what we will do, we will figure out, we will take 2 points here. Okay, we will take 2 points here. one is this, another one is this point, right? And we will locate their images. So we will seek out the images of these 2 points. So let's say this point is A and this point is B. So A's image is here definitely, and B's image is here definitely, right? So let's say A's image is here A dash, B's image is here B dash. So we just have to figure out this length. If we somehow know this length, students, if we somehow know this length, we can, this height is already given, so we can clearly figure out the value of angle alpha, yes or no? So our major challenge here is to find out this A dash B dash. अब ये simple आ जाएगा. How will it come? First of all, this distance is given 40/3. This angle is given, so you can find out this distance. Obviously, this rod is 2 centimeter. 2 centimeter, so 2 cos 60, what will be? 1 centimeter here, right? So that will be 1 centimeter. So what is this length? This length is 43/3 centimeter. So we have to use these two values 2 times in the formula. 1 by V minus 1 by U is 1 by F. First of all, we will use U as minus 40/3, find out V1, and then another U is 43/3 and again find out the value of V. And subtracting, we'll get this line. Okay, so simple, we will do 1 by V, let's take V1 in the case, minus 1 by minus 40/3. Focal length will be positive as it's a converging lens here. So 1 by 10, right? So 1 by V1 plus 3 by 40 is equals to 4 by 40, can I say? So from here it is what? 40. So V is how much? 40 centimeter, V1, let's say. That means this distance is 40 centimeter. Now we simply have to find out this distance also. So let's put the value now. U as 43/3 centimeter, right? So 1 by V minus 1 by U is 1 by F. So 1 by, let's say V2, minus 1 by minus 43/3. Why minus? Because it is opposite to the incident rays, that you guys know. So it will be 1 by V2 plus 3 by 43 is equals to 1 by 10. So we can say from here 1 by V2 is 1 by 10 minus 3 by 43 centimeter, right? So how much will this be? It will be what? 4.3 minus 3 upon 43, right? Which is 1 by V2. So V2 will be 43 upon 1.3 centimeter, right? Now that difference we want to know, okay? What is the difference? V2 minus V1 or V1 minus V2, that is 40, how much is this? 40 minus, yes, 40 minus 43 upon 1.3 centimeter, right? So do this, okay? Now what is the value of this height is given? 30 root 3 by 13, right? So how much is this? Do this quickly. 4 into 13 minus 43 upon 1.3. 52 minus 43 is what? 9. So 9 by 1.3. So this is V2 minus V1. Now we want to find out the value of alpha, right? So what is tan alpha? So tan alpha in this triangle, if you say perpendicular is 30 root 3 by 13. So 30 root 3 by 13 upon 9 upon 1.3. I guess we can solve it from here. So this will be 1s are, 10s are cancelled, 1s are, 3s are, 1s are, root 3s are. So what is the answer? Tan alpha is 1 by root 3. So alpha will be 30 degrees. Clear? So after solving this, we can say alpha is what? 30 degrees. Is it clear everyone? Okay. So I hope ये point आपको समझ आ गया होगा. तो ये easy questions में ही count होगा अभी तक. फिलहाल अभी तक like till now I guess the first question was a little tricky one. Okay. First question was little tricky, and after that the questions were little easy. Not so easy, but yes, little easy. So if you know the concepts well, then there is no problem. So let's move on. and discuss this problem. This is also an easy problem based on rotation. So yesterday only I told you that there will be at least 3 to 4 problems from rotational dynamics, and definitely one problem will at least be from rolling. But in this paper, both the questions are from rolling only, right? So let's understand the solution. At time t equals to 0, a disc of radius 1 meter. So this is a disc, and of radius is how much? Radius is 1 meter. Starts to roll without slipping on a horizontal plane. Okay, so it is rolling. Fantastic. Alpha is given to us. Okay, alpha कितना दिया हुआ है? 2/3 radians per second square. So A will be R alpha. R is 1. So this is also 2/3 meter per second square. Right. Anyways, no problem. Then what is happening here? A small stone is stuck at the disc. Okay, a small stone is stuck here, and after turning some angle like this here, this gets detached and goes like this, and we have to find out this complete height. Yes, so this is the question. We have to just figure out V here. If we are able to figure out V here and this angle theta also, then there is no problem, right? I guess this is 90 degrees. So this is 90 minus theta, so this is also theta. So these are two same angles, right? So if we figure out this angle, then V is also known to us. So the information we can find out, and theta is known to us, then we can easily find out the height from the ground. Anyways, let's begin. So what they have given, time is given. Okay, so time is given how much? Root pi seconds. Okay, fine. After root pi seconds, first of all, let's find out what will be the value of omega after root pi seconds. So omega is what? 0 plus alpha into t, right? Initial velocity is 0, it is at rest given. So alpha is what? 2/3. So 2/3 into t is root pi. So this is omega. And what is V? V is equals to R omega. R is 1. So it will be 2/3 root pi meter per second. Now let's find out the value of theta here, right? In root pi seconds, how much it will turn? Okay, what is theta? Theta equals to half alpha t square. Again, omega is 0. So half into 2/3 into root pi whole square. I guess this will be how much? 2 and 2 will get cancelled. So pi by 3. Pi by 3 meaning 60 degrees. So this has turned by 60 degrees here. Is it clear? So ये कितना turn हो चुका है? 60 degrees से turn हो चुका है. So that angle is also 60 degrees. Right? Now, can we find out this height at least? R minus R cos 60, yes or no? So I will write it like this. This is theta. This was already R, and let's find out this height. This is what? R minus R cos 60 degrees. So R is 1 minus 1/2. So it is 1/2 already, right? So, and if you see here, they have given 1/2 already here, right? 1/2 plus x by 10, 1/2 plus x by 10, right? So this much information is available to us now. Let's have a look. So what is happening? I'll redraw the diagram. So at this point, it goes like this with velocity v, and it comes like this down. So we just have to find out this capital H, because this is already half given to us. And according to the question, this is x by 10. Yes, because they have given total height is what? 1/2 plus x by 10, and according to us, what is the total height? 1/2 plus capital H. So can we compare x by 10 and h? Okay, so we will say just find out h. So what is h here? Very easy. H will be u square sine square theta by 2g. Now what is the value of u? 2/3 root pi. Okay, so 2/3 root pi whole square into sine 60 whole square is 1/4, right? Sine 60 whole square will be, 3/4. Okay, 3/4 upon 20. Let's say 2g is 20. So it will be what? 4/3. Okay, so let's solve it. 4/9. 4/9 into pi into 3/4 upon 20. 4 gone. Okay, so it is pi by 6 upon 10. Okay, now if we compare x by 10 and pi by 6 upon 10, so we will say that x by 10 is equals to pi by 6 upon 10. So x is 3.14 upon 6. So it is what? I do the calculation, 6 5s are 30, 0.5 to something. Okay. So like this you can solve it, yes or no? So this is your answer for this particular question. So let's move on to the next question now. Okay, this is an interesting question, but again easy. So this question also falls under the category of easy questions. The real questions are going to come, don't worry. So anyway, so what is happening here? Every data is given, mass is 1 kg, radius is 1 kg, okay. So mass is given, radius is given, angle is given, and these forces that are acting are 1 Newton each, right? And they are going to try to rotate like this, okay. And this R is capital R by 2, that is 1 by 2 meters. So they have given this distance also 1 by 2 meters, no problem. Okay. So acceleration of the sphere down the plane is fantastic. So let's draw the FBD, write the equations and get our answers. Clear? So let me draw the diagram once again. What is going to happen here? So this is your sphere, right? Now this is the force mg sine of theta, right? Now obviously there will be friction in the upward direction here, which is going to try to rotate the sphere like this. Cool. Now another force is there. So this is a couple force like this. So they are going to rotate, they are going to try to rotate the the sphere, it's a disc in the opposite direction, right? Okay, so let's quickly write down the equations. So number 1, you will say, sir, it is accelerating with a downwards and rotating with alpha, then only this rolling motion is possible. So let's write down the force equation first of all. So you will say, sir, mg sine theta minus f is equals to ma. Now see here, this 1 Newton and 1 Newton, they will cancel out each other, so there will be no participation of them in producing any acceleration, right? This is what? 1 Newton, this is what? 1 Newton, they are going to cancel out each other. So there won't be any participation of these two forces in producing any kind of acceleration here. Is it clear? So what is mg sine theta? M is 1 into 10 into sine 30 is half, minus friction is equals to 1 into a. So it will be 5 minus f is equals to a. This is equation number 1. Okay. Now let's talk about the torque equation. So if we have a look at the torque equation, let's then see what happens. For torque equation, let's take this as our point. Okay. So obviously if this is our axis of rotation, then the torque of mg sin theta and mg cos theta will become 0, obviously. So the torque of friction and these two couple forces will be counted. So what is the torque of friction? So F into distance is how much? R, right? F into R. And what about these forces? So minus 1 into, whenever there is a couple, the torque is the magnitude of the force multiplied by the distance between them. And what is distance? Small r plus small r, right? Capital R only, okay, and a capital R is 1, is I alpha. So this is second equation. Now let's put it, F minus 1 is equals to I into alpha. Now what is this? A disc? Yes, or solid sphere? Okay, this is a solid sphere. If it is a solid sphere, I will be what? 2 by 5 mr square, m into 1 square. So it will be 0.4, right? kg meter square, right? So I will be 0.4. So let's put it here. So 0.4 alpha, right? So this is your equation number 3, right? Now you can add the first and third equation and get friction cancelled, right? So it will be how much? If you do that, it will be 5 minus 1 is equals to a plus 0.4 alpha. So what is a? A is r alpha. What they are asking? The acceleration of the sphere down. So alpha is what? A by r. Alpha is a by r. R is 1. So I can say it is 1.4 a is equals to 4. So a will be 4 upon 1.4, that is 40 upon 14 or 20 upon 7 meter per second square. So this will be your answer, 20 by 7 meter per second square. Clear? So that is the answer for this particular question. So this is how this question was solved. Now let's move on to this question. Consider an LC circuit with inductance. Okay, so an LC circuit is given, there is an inductor and there is a capacitor, and the area of the circuit is also given. It is placed in a constant magnetic field, or no, not constant. It is placed in a constant magnetic field of strength B, which is perpendicular to the plane. And if the field starts changing with time like this, okay, then the maximum magnitude of the current in the circuit. Let's find out. Simple. First of all, in these kind of problems, just draw the circuit. So there is an inductor, there is a capacitor. It is how much? 0.1 Henry, and this is how much? 10 to the power minus 3 farad. Fantastic. So we have the value of L and we have the value of C as well. Now obviously there will be an induced EMF. Why? Because the magnetic field is changing. Now let's write down the, let's try to find out the value of induced EMF here first of all. So what is flux here? Flux is equals to B dot A. Okay, so obviously theta, let's take 0 degrees, cos 0 is 1. So B plus B naught, B plus beta T, right? Okay, so it is B plus beta T times area is what? 1 meter second, 1 meter square, so 1. Now what is EMF induced? D phi minus d phi by dt, or magnitude wise let's take d phi by dt. So this constant is gone, beta is there. So it will be what? Beta. Beta is how much? 0.04. So this is the EMF induced, right? Now what else they need in the question? They are asking for the maximum magnitude of the current in the circuit. See what's going to happen. At one point complete energy will be in the inductor, and at one point complete energy will be in the capacitor. Okay, and there is no resistance in the circuit, so we'll assume that there is no loss of the energy. So whatever energy, whatever maximum value of energy inductor has at one point of time, same amount of maximum energy capacitor will also have at another point of time, right? Is this clear? So can we write like this, that the maximum energy of the inductor and maximum energy of the capacitor, they will be same, right? Half Li square and half Cv square. So half gone, L is 0.1 into I square. Capacitance is how much? 10 to the power minus 3 into V square, right? V is how much? 0.04, okay? So 0.04 whole square, right? So from here we will say I square is equals to 10 to the power minus 3 upon 10 to the power minus 1 into 0.04 square. So I will be 10 to the power minus 2 into 0.04. So it will be 4 into 10 to the power minus 4. Anything missing? Half Li square. L is 0.1, C is 10 to the power minus 3, half Cv square. That is 0.04. Okay, half Li square, I square, 10 to the, 10 to the power minus, sorry, 1, 10 to the power minus 1. So okay, cool. So it will be 4 into 10 to the power minus 3, that is 4 milliampere. So they want the answer in terms of milliampere, so answer will be 4 milliampere. Cool. So what will you write here? 4 milliampere. This is the answer to this question. I hope it is clear. Okay, fantastic. So let's move ahead and do this question. Okay, this is also a good question. A projectile is fired from the horizontal, ground with speed v and projection angle theta, when the acceleration due to gravity is small g. Okay, the range of the projectile is d initially. Fantastic. If at a highest point in its trajectory the projectile enters a different region where the effective acceleration due to gravity is this. Okay, suddenly what happens when he has crossed half of its journey, acceleration due to gravity suddenly drops to g upon 0.8, sorry, it suddenly increases to g upon 0.81, right? Then the new range is d dash. Okay, so we have to find out this n. The value of n is, so let's start solving it. Let's go with the very basic here. So this is a very conceptual question, simple, and let's go with the basics. What is going to happen here? Here we have this particle launched with a certain speed v. They have given already. This angle is theta, and it is going to go to the topmost point. 1 second. Okay, this is going to go to the topmost point, and here it is going to have a speed of v cos theta. Am I correct? Right? Here there is no speed in the vertical direction, and how much distance it has covered? It is d by 2. Now can anyone tell me what is d by 2? See, the time taken to reach this point is what? T by 2. Right? The time taken to reach this point is t by 2, and this is height h. Okay, this height is h. So at least let's write down what is d by 2 in our language, in our terms. Now d by 2 will be horizontal speed, because range is decided by horizontal speed, into t by 2. Is it okay? And what is t? T is, let me write down, v cos theta into 1 by 2 into root over 2h by g. This is the time of flight. Yes or no? In terms of height, if I say, so this is equation number 1, right? So from here you can get the value any, okay, d by 2 is this much. Let's write down d by 2 is this much, or d is whatever. Okay, anyway, so let's come down to this point. Now what's going to happen? Suddenly the acceleration due to gravity changes. So till this point acceleration due to gravity was g, and after this it changes. So will this affect it? No, horizontal velocity will not be affected. What will be affected? Only the vertical motion, and in vertical motion only the time in which it will come down, that will be affected. So in how much more time it will come down? Okay, in how much more time will it come down? Let's figure that out. Okay, so this distance x we have to find out, and x plus d by 2 will give you d dash. Clear? So this overall bit is your d dash. Is it clear? So shall we move ahead now? Okay, bindas. So what is x? X will be equal to v cos theta into same time. So time will be what? Root over 2h upon g by 0.81, because new g will be used here. Right? Are you understanding? So we can say x is equals to v cos theta into 0.9 times. So 0.9 times v cos theta into root over 2h by g. V cos theta into root over 2h by g. Okay, this is x. Now let me show you in the next page. So just now we found out that d by 2 is v cos theta into 1 by 2 into root over 2h by g. So what is d? D is v cos theta into root over 2h by g. And what is x? Point n times v cos theta into root over 2h by g. What is this? This is d. So x is 0.9 d. Do you understand this? X is 0.9 d. So what will be the answer? This is 0.9 and this is 0.5, right? So d dash will be d by 2 plus 0.9 times d. So it is 0.5 plus 0.9 into d, that is 1.4 into d dash. Okay, I hope it is clear and understood. So d dash is n times d, the value of n is known to us like this. Oh, wait a second. Okay, just wait a second. T by 2. No, okay. Instead of doing this, let's do one thing here. Just give me a minute. Okay, wait a second. See, just to come down, it takes root over 2h by g time. Okay, so let's write down that time as root 2h by g. This is the time to either go up or come down, right? Now d is what? V cos theta into 2 times root over 2h by g. Okay, V cos theta into 2 times root over 2h by g. This is the value of d actually, right? Fantastic. Okay, why 2 times? Because if I talk about the complete range d, it will be root over 2h by g plus root over 2h by g. So total time is 2 times root over 2h by g. So if in these terms if you are doing, okay. So from here, let's start once again. So we can say that, okay, x is how much? Okay, x is 0.9 into v cos theta into root over 2h by g. Okay, v cos theta into root over 2h by g. And what is d? D is equals to v cos theta into 2 times root over 2h by g, right? Now this is d. So can we write x in terms of d? So it will be 0.9 times d by 2 actually. That is what I was missing. Okay, so it will be 0.9 times d by 2. So what is the total distance d dash? It will be d by 2 plus x. So it will be d by 2 plus 0.9 times d by 2. Now it is correct. So it will be 1.9 by 2 times d. So what is 1.9 by 2? It is 0.95. So it is 0.95 times d. Okay, I hope it is clear absolutely now. Okay, done. So there was one problem, that root over 2h by g is the time to go up and also the time to come down, right? So if I consider that there is no change in the value of g and complete motion is in the same constant acceleration due to gravity, then you can say range will be v cos theta into twice the time to go up, right? So this is the first equation, and then in order to find out x is what? The distance from here, right? So it will be what? V cos theta multiplied by the time only to come down. But this time to come down will be 2h by g dash. And what is g dash? It is g upon 0.81. So from there we get this factor here, and under root 0.81 will be 0.9. So x is 0.9 v cos theta into root over 2h by g. And this particular thing is d by 2. Here I have mentioned. Okay. So in case if you have any doubt, you can just pause it and again watch it, or rewind it and again watch it. Clear? So the answer will be 0.95 d to this particular question. Okay. Or anyways, now we already knew that if the value of g is gonna increase, right? If the value of g is gonna increase, definitely it will come down early, but the speed is constant, horizontal speed is constant. So for sure it will come somewhat before than d, like here. So natural flow was here, but it will come here, and it came out. This distance was what? D by 2 up till here, and it came out how much? 0.9 times d by 2. Okay, done? Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, brilliant. So let's start another section. So first section is absolutely over, and we are going to start now the second section. So let's see what are the type of questions here and how we can solve them. So here, first of all, what they have given us? They have given us that there's a capacitor and there's a dielectric already filled in the capacitor, and this system is connected with a battery of constant, providing a constant potential difference V. Then what they have done? They have separated the plates. So obviously this will first of all alter the capacitance. So let's find out what is the altered capacitance, and then let's figure out how many factors or parameters are changing accordingly, okay, or how they are changing accordingly, right? So first of all, in this case, if you view, there is a dielectric, right, with a dielectric constant K. So what is the capacitance initially? It is K epsilon naught A upon D, right? This is the first case. Now, if you increase the distance between them like this, suppose this is D by 2, right, this is D and this is D by 2. I have not drawn it perfectly, but just try to understand, right? So here we can say that these are nothing but two capacitors in series, such that one is what, like this, yes. So you will say, what is this? This is C1. C1 is what? Epsilon naught A by D, or can I call it C by K? Yes or no? And what is this? C2 is what? K epsilon naught A by D. So can I call it C only? So we have two capacitors in series, C by K and C, and when they are in series, how do we add them? So we will say, sir, 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2, that is 1 by K by C plus 1 by C, it is K plus 1 by C. So in the second case, the new capacitance is C upon K plus 1. Okay, so capacitance has fallen down or came down. Is it clear? So in the first case, capacitance is C, K epsilon naught A by D. In the next case, it is what? C upon K plus 1. So the capacitance has decreased by a factor of 1 by K plus 1. Yes. So B option is absolutely correct here. Now let's study, or let's think about option A. The electric field inside the dielectric material is reduced by a factor of 2K. Okay. Electric field. What is the formula of electric field? Sigma by epsilon naught, or we can say Q by A epsilon naught, right? Q by A epsilon naught. Okay, first of all, but in the here in this case we will write like this. Here in this case we will write it like this. Q by K A epsilon naught. Okay, E1 in the first case. Second case, E2 will be how much? Q dash upon K A epsilon naught. And what is Q dash? Q dash will be C dash into V upon K A epsilon naught. So it will be what? C dash is what? C upon 1 plus K into V upon K A epsilon naught is what? Q upon 1 plus K. Sorry, not Q. E upon 1 plus K. So if you solve it, this will become what? CV will become Q again, and Q upon K A epsilon naught will become E here. So obviously the difference is nowhere coming out to be 2K. So first option is incorrect. Right now, the voltage between the capacitors is increased by a factor of K plus 1. See, voltage is going to remain constant here. There will be no difference in the voltage because this source is providing the voltage here. Wrong. Now the work done in the process does not depend on the presence of dielectric material. Depends. Why? It is wrong. Why it depends? Because the work done will be obviously given by the change in kinetic, will be associated with the change in potential energy of the capacitances, right? Change in potential energy of the system will definitely depend upon K. Why? Because change in potential energy will depend upon C, and C is depending upon K. So obviously we cannot say here that work done does not depend, it will depend, right? So let's move on to the next question. Now this is a very interesting question, and from a long time we were expecting that Advanced has not given any circuit question, so it will not give a circuit question this year as well, but they have given. So they have broken that trend, and this year they have given a question on circuit. Now let's talk about this. This is a very easy question but a lengthy question, easy but lengthy. So the problem is, as you can see this, see R, what is this? R1, so what is missing? What am I missing here? R7, the diagram is not complete, just R1 to R8. Okay, first of all labeled R1 to R8. Okay, so what is R1 here? This is R3, this is R6, this is R5, this is R1. So I guess this will be R8 and this will be R2, right? And here also, oh God. By the way, let me tell you, here after solving we will find out all the 4 options are correct. So let me start the question. Okay, so what they want us to find out is the current in this branch, current is in this branch, current is in this branch, in this branch, and in this branch. Okay, so mainly these are the values they want us to find out: 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, mainly 1, 2, 3 and 4, these 4 branches they want us to find out the current in the question. Okay, now let me start the question. First of all, if you see that every resistance is of 1 ohm, right? So this is 1 ohm, 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 this is also 1, this is also 1, and as you can see there is a perfect symmetry in this question. And if there is perfect symmetry in the question, then what I can do, I can just turn it and cover it up here, right? I can just turn the circuit and bring it to this point. So can I join them? So let me write down. So what is going to happen, the circuit will look somewhat like this. Okay, Can you see this? So this is what, this is how the circuit will look like. Now what is this? 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 6 volts and 12 volts. Clear? So this is how the circuit is going to look like if I just merge them like this. See, the point is, here if the potential is A, here also the potential will be A because of the symmetry. Here let's say potential is B, right? Yes or no? So obviously what we can do, we can just merge it like this, okay, fold it like this. So here the folding is done. Now what I can say is these two are in parallel, right? And along with this is in series with these two resistances, right? So whatever is the resultant of these two, that is the parallel resultant, will be in series with this resistance. So can I just redraw the circuit like this? Just have a close look. This is 6 volt. So this is gonna be what? 3 by 2 ohms. How 3 by 2 ohms? See, 1 and 1 in parallel will become 1 by 2. 1 by 2 plus 1 will become 3 by 2. Right, so this is 3 by 2 ohms. Then again, this is 1 and 1 in parallel, 1 by 2 ohms, and last is again same thing, we will do it here as well, that 1 ohms, 1 and 1, 1 by 2 plus 1 will become 3 by 2. So this is also 3 by 2 ohms. Now let me tell you, 6 volts and 12 volts. So this is 6 volts, this is 12 volts. Is it okay? Now we have to solve this circuit and find out the currents here, and then we can figure out what will be the answer according to the 4 options that are given to us. So I'll redraw the circuit, okay, here, and let me tell you again. So we will solve it now. So this is 6 volts. This is 3 by 2 ohms. This is 1 by 2 ohms. This is 12 volts and this is 3 by 2. Oh God, I was writing volts, so 3 by 2 ohms. Clear? Now, how to find out, how to solve it? Using Kirchhoff's law, we can solve it. Very simply, we can say, let's say, I like this method that I am doing right now. Let's say this is 0 volts, right? So if this is 0, this is what? 6 volts. This is 0, this is what? Minus 12 volts. And we don't know about this, so let's say this is V volts. Okay, cool. Now, according to potential difference, we can say, let's say 6 volts is greater. So 6 volts, so current here will be I1. Let's say V is greater, so here will be I2. And again V is greater than minus 12, so let's say it will be I3. Can you see this? So according to junction law, we can say I1 is equal to I2 plus I3. Yes or no? So from here we can, I will write like this, I1 is equals to I2 plus I3. Now what is I1? I1 is 6 minus V upon 3 by 2. 6 minus V upon 3 by 2. I2 is what? V minus 0 upon half. V minus 0 upon half plus V minus minus 12, that is V plus 12, right, upon 3 by 2. Yes or no? This is clear. So I guess we can 2 will get cancelled here, right? This 2 and 2 will get cancelled here, and 3V will become, so 6 minus V, it will become 6 minus V is equals to 3V plus V plus 12, right? I guess I am correct here. So 6 minus V will become 3V plus V plus 12. So it will be how much? 3 plus 4 plus 1, 5V is equals to minus 6. Oh God. So V is minus 6 by 5 volts. So V is coming out to be negative. अच्छा, V negative आ गया तो फिर ये direction गलत हो गया, right? So if V is negative, so current will be reverse. So actually the actual scene will be like this. This is I1. This is I2. And this is I3 in the actual scenario. Okay, this is 0 volts. This is minus 6 by 5 volts, this is 6 volts, and this is minus 12 volts. So everything is clear now. So this we know. Let's find out the value of I1, I2 and I3 now. So what is I1? 6 minus V upon 3 by 2. So I1 will be 6 minus V upon 3 by 2. 6 minus 6 by 5 upon 3 by 2. 5 6 is 36. 36 upon 5 into 3 by 2, 24 by 5 ampere, right? This is 24 by 5 ampere I1. I2 will be V upon half. I2 will be V upon half, right? So what is V? Minus 6 by 5 upon half. So it will be minus 12 by 5, or magnitude wise 12 by 5 ampere. Is it clear? This is 12 by 5 ampere. Now next is what? I3. So I3 will be what? Now this time if you look at the circuit, I1 plus I2 is I3. I1 plus I2 is I3, right? So I3 will be what? I1 plus I2. Magnitude wise I1 plus I2. So it will be 24 by 5 plus 12 by 5 will be what? 36 by 5 amperes. Okay, cool enough? I1, I2, I3. Now what we have to do in this question, we have to figure out the current in how many branches? Let me show you. We have to figure out the current here, here, here and here. So let me write down, okay, we will match it. So see, these two branches are together carrying, these two branches R6 and R5, together they are carrying what? I1. Together they are carrying what? I1. I1 is what? 24 by 5 sorry, 24 by 5 ampere. So current here will be I1 by 2, that is 12 by 5, that is 2.4 ampere. So this fourth option is correct, right? Now next thing is, please see the question because there is some misprint here. Okay, so 2.4 ampere. Now let's talk about which current? This is absolutely what? I1 only. This is absolutely I1. So it will be what? 4.8, okay, 4.8 ampere. So this also will match somewhere. So C option is also correct. So what are done? So this is done, this is done. Now what is remaining? Here, this is what? The current here I2 was distributed in this resistance and this resistance. So single will be I2 by 2, right? So I2 by 2, I2 is 12 by 5. So it will be 6 by 5 or 1.2 ampere. Again, it will match with this option. So B option is also correct, right? So B option is also correct. And last is here. This is nothing but I3, complete I3. Okay, so I3 will be what? 36 by 5, right? I3 was what? 36 by 5, right? 36 by 5 ampere, I guess 7.2. So fourth option is also matching. So here all the four options are correct. Clear? Here all the four options are correct. Now very carefully you solve this question, right? So it was lengthy, no doubt it was lengthy, but okay, fine, we at least got the right answers easily. So it was worth a shot, worth giving a shot, no problem. Oh God, now this is amazing question. This is also a very tricky question. So I will count this as also one of the trickiest question in the paper, right? So let's begin. This will take up some time. So ideal gas of density rho is how much? 0.2 kg per meter cube. So density at this particular point is given, right? Here density. So let me redraw and tell you everything here. See. Something like this, right? Let's say A1, P1, T1, V1 speed, rho 1, or here it will be what? A2, P2, T2, speed V2 and density rho 2, right? So we have to find out some certain parameters here, right? So it enters and the process is adiabatic given, that is the beauty of the question. Now we have to also figure out this height also in this question. Okay, so most of the students left this question, which was a wise choice, right? Because to solve it sometimes it might take some time and it's a 4 option correct question. But since whenever they ask in multiple choice correct, na, multiple choice correct, sometimes what happens, they have give numerical values, right? That means you have to solve for every option. Like pressure of the gas at the upper end of the chimney is this, velocity of the gas another thing, height of the chimney another question, density of the gas another question. So there are technically 4 questions hidden in this particular questions. So these type of questions you can attempt if you are even slightly confident in yourself. Okay, yes, we can do, I have done these kind of questions. Okay, I can attempt it right now in JEE. Okay, because there are different questions they are asking, but the only risk is -2. Okay, so you have to be very much confident with your calculations that you will get the right answer. Go for this question. Okay, you'll get good numbers here. So let's move ahead and solve it. First of all, it's an adiabatic process. So let's write down it's an adiabatic process. Cool. So adiabatic process, so we will say, first of all, let's find out the pressure here, right? Pressure or temperature, what they have given us? They have given us, okay, P1 is given, T1 is given, and what else they have given? Gamma they have given and T2 they have given. So P2 is not given, right? So there is a relationship, P to the power 1 minus gamma dot T to the power gamma is constant. So can we use it like this here? 1 minus gamma dot T to the power gamma. Okay, cool. So P1 is how much? 300. 300 or 600? Oh. P1 is 600 pascals, right? So 600 to the power minus 1, because gamma is 2 already given in the question, dot T1. T1 is how much? T1 is given, I guess, 300 Kelvin. Okay, 300 to the power 2. Now what is P2? P2 will be how much? We have to find out to the power minus 1. T2 is 150 to the power 2. Now solving, we will get it. 4 by 600 is equals to 1 by P2. So P2 will be 150 pascals. Now we have one more good information here. 150 pascals in this particular question. Is it clear? At least pressure we know. So first option, the pressure of the gas at the upper end of the chimney is 300 pascals. This is wrong, because we know the answer is what? The answer is 150 pascals. Clear everyone? Fantastic. So let's move ahead now. Velocity of the gas at the lower end of the chimney is 40 meter per second and at the upper end is 20. So they are saying that velocity at the upper end is 20 meter per second. So we have to figure out about the velocity also. Okay, let's try it. So this time we will say PV to the power gamma is constant. Now what is, can I also select P into dV by dt to the power gamma is constant? What is this? Is volume flow rate only, right? Okay. So I'll use this concept of volume flow rate here, and I will say like this, because the flow rate is uniform, so we can use that concept. So P1 into A1 V1 to the power gamma is equals to P2 into A2 V2 to the power gamma, right? So what is P1? P1 is 600, area A1 is how much? A1 is given to us 0.1, okay, 0.1 into V1 is 40 whole square is equals to 150 into A2 I guess is 0.4 into V2 whole square, right? Okay, A2 is 0.4, fantastic, and P2 is 150. So can we solve it now? 150 ones are 150 fours are, so it will be 2. Let's take under root into 4 is equals to 0.4 into V2, right? So ones are, tens are, yes, V2 is coming out to be 20 meters per second from this explanation, from this particular solution, right? So V2 is coming out to be how much? V2 is coming out to be 20 meter per second. So yes, my dear students, B option is correct. Okay? So इस question में we have got B option as correct. There is no problem. Velocity of the gas at the lower end of the chimney is 40 and the upper end will be 20 meter per second. Now density and height, we have to figure out two things. So before going to height, because we all know for height we will have to use Bernoulli's equation, right? So that is why we will take it at the end, because in Bernoulli's equation we will be needing the value of density also at the upper portion. We know density here, we don't know density here. So rho 2 is not available, right? So what we will do, mass flow rate is fixed. Mass flow rate is given to us. How much is that? I guess, yes, alpha 0.8 kg per second. This is given. So let's use this concept that 0.8 kg per second is equals to rho AV, right? So 0.8 is equals to rho 2 into A2 into V2. This is 20. Cool. So how much is this? I guess 0.8 is equals to rho 2 into 0.4 into 20. 0.4 1za, 2za, 1za, 10za. So rho 2 will be 0.1 kg per meter cube. Cool. Rho 2 is what? 0.1 kg per meter cube. This is the density at the upper end. Let's check what they have given. 0.05, wrong. So, okay. So this is wrong. The option D is also wrong. Let's check for option C about height. Now for height, we have to play little safely. We will say P1 plus half rho 1 V1 square plus rho 1 GH1 is equals to P2 plus half rho 2 V2 square plus rho GH2. Did you understand? This will be what? Rho GH2. Now, rho GH1, let's take this height as this base at 0 height, right? So H1 will be 0. Cool. So H1 will be 0, this term will be 0. So P1 is 600 plus half into rho 1 is how much? Have they given rho 1? Yes. 0.2. Very good. Rho 1 is 0.2 in the question. So 0.2 into 40 square is equals to 150 plus half into 0.1 into 20 square plus rho 2. Rho 2 is 0.1 into 10 into h, right? Now let's solve it. 0.1, 1600 into 0.1, 160. So 600 plus 160 minus 150 is equals to, okay, how much is this? 400. Okay, have I missed anything? Half rho 2 V2 square. Rho 2 is 0.1 only. Okay, so it will be 1 by 20. So it will be 20 only, right? So this will be minus 20 is equals to h. Now what is this? 450 plus 140 is equals to h, which is 590 meters. Cool. So we have got the answer 590 meters. That means C option is also correct. So in this particular question, option B and option C both are correct. Clear everyone? So this was again a tricky question, as I told you. If you know the flow of the question, then only you will be able to answer, otherwise it will become difficult under the pressure of the examination, right? So okay, this was a very interesting question. Most of the students I have spoken to, they got confused, and those who tried only for the first option, at least for the first option, they cracked the whole question. So this was the review from the students I have spoken to, that this particular question, those who attempted it with some confidence, they got all the answers right, and those who got afraid that what they have to do, what kind of calculation they have to start with, they got bashed away. So what we can do is, here the thing is, they have given everything in the question, so it's more of a paragraph than being a question, right? This is little theory and the other theory follows here. So what they have given, there are 3 plane mirrors, as you can see, and they are arranged in equilateral triangle format, right? And at an angle theta, a light ray enters this hole, and this is some distance L, which they vary in every option. Okay. Now what they have given in the first option, the ray of light will come out for theta 30 degrees. Okay. See what happens. If theta is 30 degrees, this is very interesting. This is 60 degrees, right? So if theta is 30 degrees, so it will go like this. Why? Because this will be 30 degrees, so this will be normal incidence, and if this is normal incidence, it will come back like this. So it will immediately come out of the hole just after one reflection here. Clear? So whatever be the value of L doesn't matter. If it is less than capital N, definitely it will return back. So I guess the ray of light will come out. So A option is correct. Clear? Now let's study for the second option. If there is an angle for L equals 12/3 at which the ray of light will come out for 2 reflections. Okay. Let's go for third option. There is an angle for L equals to Achha, let's talk about 60 degrees. Okay, I guess there's an angle for L equals to L/3 at which the ray of light will come out after 2 reflections. Okay, it should be L/2, I suppose. Let me redraw and tell you again. See, here it is like this. Okay, let's talk about this point L/2. Suppose L/2. And it enters at 60 degrees, right? It enters at 60 degrees. So obviously this will be 60 degrees, this is 60 degrees, so this will be 60 degrees, got it? Right? Now we will say this angle will also be 60 degrees, law of reflection, and if this is 60, this is 60, it will be parallel like this. It will definitely follow and come back like this. So after 2 reflections, 1 and 2, it will come back. Okay, so if theta is equals to 60 degrees and L is equals to L/2 specifically, then it will come out definitely after 2 reflections. Is this clear? Now let me show you one more case. Here another case is this. Suppose they are saying that this is at L/3, right? At L/3, suppose the ray of light comes at 60 degrees, right? So it will go and strike here. It will go and strike here. So obviously, according to symmetry, if this distance is 2L/3, so this will be 2L/3. This will be 60 degrees. This will be 60 degrees. This will be 60 degrees. One reflection has taken place here, right? Now after this, what will happen? It will turn like this again. Okay, this will be 60 degrees, right? So it will come automatically here again, giving this angle 60 degrees. Now this is what? This distance will be L/3 according to symmetry, right? Clear? Now again, it will go like this. This is 60 degrees, so again it will go like this. Now it will hit this point. Now this distance will be 2L/3. Again, through symmetry, this angle is 60 degrees. It will go like this, and this time it will come out of the hole. Clear? So how many reflections were happening? Happened here? Number 1 here, 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, and then it came out. Okay, so between 0 to L/2 there is one point L/3 where there are less than 6 reflections and it is coming out, right? So what they have given in the options, if you see, the ray of light will never come out for theta 60 degrees and L/3. ये तो wrong हो गया क्योंकि we have just seen that it is coming out even after 5 reflections, but it is coming out. The ray of light will come out for theta 60 degrees from 0 to L/2 after 6 reflections. No, we have seen that there is one possibility that at L/3 it is coming in even 5 reflections. So definitely this is also wrong. I guess this was L/2. So there is an angle for L small equals to L/2 at which the ray of light will come out after 2 reflections. I guess that was this case only, 60 degrees. Okay, so at 60 degrees, yes, 1 and 2 reflections it will take place and it will come out for this small l is equals to capital L/2, right? So there is a misprint here, it is L/2 and A and B options are correct, C and D are wrong. Is it clear? Understood? Brilliant, fantastic. Oh, it's a tricky question. Now another question. Now this is little bit easy, right? So they have given 6 charges. So what the problem is, we have this habit of keeping the charges always on the vertices. So it took like for 1 or 1.5 minutes for many of the students to just grasp it. Are the charges really kept somewhere else other than these vertices? Yes, it happened. So 6 charges are placed around a regular hexagon, side length A as shown in the figure. 5 of them have charge Q. Okay, so 5 of them have the same charge Q, 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 Q and Q, and all of them are kept like this. Clear? So this is the structure that it is drawn and that I have shown you here. Now what's going to happen? Which of the following statements is our correct SI unit? Okay, when X is Q, the magnitude of the electric field at O will be 0. Absolutely. See, अगर आप X को Q लेते हैं, if you take X is equals to Q, then obviously in a hexagon, the electric field because of this charge will be cancelled by this charge will be cancelled by this, and this charge will be cancelled by this. So obviously the net electric field will be 0. The vector sum of all the electric fields will be 0 here. So first option is absolutely correct without a flinch of doubt, right? Now X is minus Q, then what will happen? See again, the fields due to this charge, this charge, this charge and this charge, all 4 will cancel out, and the field due to this charge will be in this direction, and if it is negative, its field will be in this direction, so they will be added. So just figure out the field due to this one charge and make it twice, that will be the answer, right? So after solving this comes out, right? Or if you want, I can just show you quickly the solution as well. What is this distance A, and what is this distance 30 degrees? So A cos 30 is what? Root 3 A by 2 here, and the charge is here, so this is also root 3 A by 2. So total distance is A. So let's say that this R is root 3 A. So what is field? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into upon root 3 A whole square. Now total electric field, if they are asking, into 2 I will do. Why? Because Q downwards and because of minus Q also downwards, so we will add them. So what will be the field this time at the center? 3 to 6. So Q by 6 pi epsilon naught A square. Clear everyone? Anyone having any doubt here? No. Fantastic. Let's move ahead. And what are the other options? Okay, so this is done, this is right, A is also correct, B is also correct. Let's go for C. When X is 2Q, the potential at O, see, potential depends on the total sum of the charges because all are positive here. So Q, 2Q, 3, Q plus Q plus Q. So this is what? 5Q plus 2Q, 7Q. So 7Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught into distance. Distance is root 3A only. So I guess this option is also correct. Did you understand? Total charge is what? 7Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught into R. R is what? Root 3A. This is potential overall. Is it clear? This will be overall potential. Now D, when X is minus 3Q, when minus 3Q, obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5Q minus 3Q, that is 2Q. So net charge will be 2Q. So this is not possible. This is wrong. So this was very absurd option given by JEE Advanced. Anyways, so I hope this is clear everyone. So shall we move ahead now? So A, B and C options are correct. D is wrong in this particular question. Okay, this was also an interesting question, really interesting question. So let's have a look here. So they are saying the binding energy of the nucleons, right? The binding energy of the nucleons in a nucleus can be affected by the pairwise Coulomb repulsion. Pairwise Coulomb repulsion. Okay. Assume that all the nucleons are uniformly distributed inside the nucleus. Fantastic. Let the binding energy of a proton be this and binding energy of a neutron be this in the nucleus. Which of the following statements are correct? Okay. Shall we start? See, they are saying that inside the nucleus, what has happened? The charge is uniformly distributed. So if I can say all the positive charge, that means the protons, they are uniformly distributed, then it will act just like a uniformly charged sphere. We have studied now, a uniformly charged non-conducting sphere where the charge is completely distributed inside its volume. What is the total potential energy of the, because of the positive charges or their repulsion? what is the potential energy? 3 by 5 K into Q square by R. Do you remember this formula, right? So apart from because of the nuclear force, the neutrons and protons have got same amount of energies, right? So the energies of the protons nuclear force wise, energy of the neutrons nuclear force wise, they are same, but these protons, they have an extra energy because of their Coulomb repulsion, right? So we will say that these protons will have extra energy than neutrons, and how much will that be? This 3 by 5 into K is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into ZE whole square, right? This is the overall energy upon radius, but we are talking about a single proton, then 1 by Z, right? So I can say that the extra energy that the protons are having is 3 by 5 into 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into R. Can I write like this? R naught into a to the power 1 by 3 into Z into E square. Now from here we can get the result for first and second option. See, first option says that this extra energy is directly proportional to Z into Z minus 1. So this is wrong, right? It is not like that, but it is proportional to a to the power minus 1 by 3. Yes, it is true. Why? Because this will go up and become a to the power minus 1 by 3. So B option is correct. This difference is positive. Yes, obviously this is positive because protons have got more energy, and EB increases if the nucleus undergoes a beta decay. Why? Beta decay is what? Proton breaking to give neutron plus positron, right? So a proton is reducing, right? Now, if a proton is reducing, how can you say the energy is going to increase, right? Clear everyone? Yes. So a proton is reduced. So obviously अगर proton कम होगा तो Z की value Z minus 1 हो जाएगी ना. If one proton is reduced from the nucleus, it will become Z minus 1. Z minus 1. So obviously the energy will come down, not increase. So fourth option is also wrong. Clear everyone? Yes, students. Is it? Rishik, hello Rishik. So let's understand. Okay, now this was a brilliant question, and it was, yes, time consuming question as well. It's a little bit lengthy, but okay, we can solve it. So I hope you have read this question before I attempt this question. Okay, so options are given here. Anyways, so we'll go for the options. One second, I want to tell you one thing here in this question before we even attempt the question. Here if you see option A and C, first is Q, second is P, third is S, fourth is T and R, right? So probably one of the options may be right from these two. So we'll definitely check for the fourth option after we read the question, right? And here what else? Do we have anything else? Okay, so we will check for first. If first is Q, then definitely we'll go only for fourth, or we can say we can check for second. If second is P, then we'll check option 4 only. So we'll have to check only two options, second and fourth option. So this is at least done before we even try solving the question. At least this logic is clear by seeing the option. So do this thing, students. You know, before attempting any match the column type of a question, do read the options. This is a very important, you know, exercise before you do this question, these kind of questions, right? So let's begin. So what they have given a ring which is along z axis, okay? That's like it is kept in the xy plane and its area vector is along the z axis. And at some particular angle, like along this particular vector n cap, they have arranged a solenoid here, okay? Clear? So this is the xy plane. This is the xy plane where the ring is kept, and the solenoid is arranged at n cap vector, along this n cap vector. Clear? Now what they are asking us? They are asking us to find out the torque experienced by the circular loop at time t equals to pi by 6 omega. Okay? Clear? Oh, brilliant. So let's first of all write down what is area vector here. So what is area vector here? Area vector will be A times k cap. Is this clear? Area vector will be A times k cap. Now let's talk about magnetic field vector. So magnetic field because of this solenoid will definitely be along n cap only, right? So I will say magnetic field is mu naught m I n cap, right? Now what is the flux here? If you want to find out induced EMF or current, flux through the coil will be vector B dot vector A. So this will be what? Mu naught m I A times k cap dot n cap. Is it cool? So it is what? K cap dot n cap here. This is phi. Now what is k cap dot n cap? Let's say this is obviously both are unit vectors. Let's say the angle between k cap and n cap is theta. Let's say. So it will be mu naught m I A into cos of theta. So what is this? This is the flux through the small coil, right? This is the flux through small coil. Now let's find out EMF induced or current will be what? EMF induced upon R. Let's say I1 is the current in the coil, induced current in the coil. So it is what? d phi by dt upon R. So what is this? Mu naught m I A upon R into d by dt of cos theta. Is it cool? We can do this. Mu naught m I A upon R into d by dt of cos theta. This is current. Now what is the magnetic moment of the ring? This will be what? I1 times vector A. So this will be again mu naught m I A upon R, right? Mu naught m I A upon R into A times k cap. So what is this gonna be? So magnetic moment will be mu naught m I A square by R into k cap. Now what is the torque gonna be? So torque will be vector m cross vector B, right? Torque will be what? Vector m cross vector B. Now what is vector m cross B? B is given to us. B is mu naught m I n cap, right? So we will say vector tau will be m cross B. What is m? Okay, mu naught m I square. So it will be mu naught. See, if you do the cross product of vector m and B, so B is what? Mu naught m I, right? So it will be mu naught square m square I square A square upon R times k cap cross n cap. Okay, k cap cross n cap. So this is your torque. Now let's have a look. A square mu naught square m square I square upon R. This is what? This is already we have found out. So don't you think this quantity is R alpha by omega? This quantity mu naught square m square I square by A square by R. This is what? This quantity will be R alpha by omega. Not R alpha, 2 alpha by omega, sorry. 2 alpha by omega. So this particular quantity will be 2 alpha by omega times k cap cross n cap. Now we have to check. This is the torque, right? Now they have given the values of n cap in all the 4 options. Clear? Now let's check what they have given. Time is also given. So n cap, let's check about the second option. We decided now that we will check for the second option first. So what is the second option? This is 1 by root 2 sin omega t I cap and j cap. Oh God. If n cap, that means vector B, see, the ring was kept like this, its area vector is here, k cap, and if magnetic field is here in the xy plane, they are perpendicular, right? So k cap dot n cap will be 0, so flux only will be 0, and if flux is 0, then there will be no induced current, there will be no torque. So I guess for this P is absolutely correct. That means we were right about thinking that A or C might be correct. So second is having option P correct, we have checked it. Now we have to only check it for 4. I guess you can do that by putting these values in the cross product. Okay. So what is torque here? This. So you just put the value. First of all, check for this thing. What is the flux? Flux. Where is flux? Yes, flux is K dot n cap. K cap dot n cap. First of all, let's find out this. Flux is all about K cap dot n cap. Now n cap is what in the fourth option? 1 by root 2 sin omega t j cap plus cos omega t k cap. Okay. Now you do the dot product thing, 1 by root 2 also, na? Whatever it is. So I guess if we do this, then k dot j will be 0. So we will have cos omega t by root 2. Is it correct? Sin omega t j cap plus cos omega t k cap, right? Okay, cos omega t by root 2. This is k cap dot n cap, which was, I guess, cos theta. So this is how we have got our cos theta. So cos omega t by root 2 is our cos theta. Okay, fine. Now what we wanted, where it is? Okay. Acha, in all these options, d theta by dt we left, na? D cos theta by dt. I forgot to place this value everywhere. It should be placed. This value should be placed here, right? And vector m was along k cap, right? Again here, d by dt of cos theta. So this value, okay, clear? So now we have to find out d by dt of cos theta. So it will be what? Omega by root 2 into minus sine of omega t, okay, is equals to d by dt of cos theta. Is it okay? So minus sign will come here. Acha, one thing we have ignored, that while I was differentiating to get current, d phi by dt, EMF is what? Minus d phi by dt, right? So we need to place a negative sign here, right? Clear? So we will place that negative sign everywhere. So till the last there will be a negative sign here, right? Now finally what we have to do, we have got this minus omega by root 2 sin omega t, that is d cos theta by dt. Now we have to put it in the final torque value here and get the answer. So after solving, and put the value of time also here, pi by 6 omega. So once you get the equation, put it, then you will get this option right, where it is. Oh god, this was plus 3 alpha by 4 I cap. So R will be correct. So third option C will be correct, right? So let's move on to the next question now. Okay, so this is interesting. What they have done, this is a very easy and interesting question. They are saying that each particle A and B, in relative motion as shown in the figure. Fantastic. Both are moving with what? Same angular speed. So after time pi by 3, okay, after time pi by 3, what is the relative speed? See, after time pi by 3 is what? Pi by 3 is 60 degrees. So one is here, another one is here. Still the angular speeds are same, so the angle between them will be 90 degrees only. And if two vectors are at 90 degrees, the resultant will be, the difference of the resultant will be root 2v only, right? So we have the given, radius is 1 meter, omega is 1, so v will be 1. So root 2 meter per second. फर्स्ट का कौन सा ऑप्शन सही आने वाला है? राइट, फर्स्ट का, ओ गॉड दे हैव गिवन सो मेनी स्पेसेस हियर. ओके, रूट 2 एस इज गिवन. सो भाई फर्स्ट का तो एस आ गया, राइट? फर्स्ट का एस आ चुका है. सो बी एंड सी ऑप्शंस में से चेक करना है, राइट? सो वी अच्छा फोर्थ का आर है, सो वी नो नीड टू सॉल्व इट एनीथिंग. फर्स्ट का एस, फोर्थ का आर, फर्स्ट का एस मैच हो गया है तो सेकंड और थर्ड में से कोई एक सही है, राइट. नाउ वी हैव टू गो फॉर सेकंड ऑप्शन. सेकंड का देख लेते हैं, अगर पी आता है तो ये ऑप्शन सही है, अगर सेकंड का टी आता है तो ये ऑप्शन सही है, राइट. सो वी विल चेक सेकंड का आइदर पी इज करेक्ट और टी. लेट्स चेक इट आउट. ओके, सो इट्स वेरी इजी. Let's go for the second question. Now second question is very interesting. Second point, they have said here that there are two projectiles, there are two particles which are thrown at 45 degrees and the speeds are 5 pi by root 2. So obviously they will have two components. 5 pi by root 2, 45 will be what? 5 pi by 2 here, 5 pi by 2 here. Same goes here also, 5 pi by 2 here and 5 pi by 2 here, right. So initial velocities are same along the vertical direction, but horizontal direction initial velocities are opposite to each other. So relative Vx, relative of along x axis, even after 0.1 second, अगर इसको हम 0.1 second के भी बाद छोड़ते हो तो they are in opposite direction, they will be added, so it will be 5 pi only. But if I talk about the vertical, what will be the velocity of A after 0.1 second? So it will be 5 pi by 2 minus gt. And what is VB? Vertical direction I am talking about, right? So it will be 5 pi by 2 only after 0.1 seconds, right? So if you find out the difference, 5 by 2 will be getting cancelled, only GT will remain, right? So if I say delta VA with respect to B along y axis, it will be GT. T is what? 0.1, G is what? 10. So it will be 1 meter per second. So obviously what will be the resultant? 5 pi whole square plus 1 whole square under root. Okay, so we will say 5 pi whole square plus 1 whole square under root. This will be the resultant, which is 25 pi square plus 1 under root. So this is how you will get the answer. Clear? So I guess this is which option? T. Option T is matching. So B will have T, that means C option is correct. So for this C is correct. Okay students. Okay, so I guess two questions are also two more questions are remaining here. So what we can do is, when Chetan sir will come and discuss the second portion of advanced paper, there he will pick up these last two questions. So far I hope that you have understood the solutions well. In case you have any doubts, any problem, do comment in the chat box, do write to us, come and visit our website. Okay, and in case if you are thinking of giving yourself another chance to crack this examination, you are at a very good stop here and you can come and join us. New batches are starting very soon, so you can get all the details in the description below and also on the website. Thank you so much. Fine. Okay.
So basically now we are going to discuss about the chemistry advanced paper, paper 1 actually, and the first question is from the physical chemistry portion, and this question is quite tough, I would say that, because there was some intricacies in the question which were involved. Okay, so the question is, there is 2 mole, okay, sorry, just a minute. So if you look into the question, there is 2 mole of Hg gas is combusted in the fixed volume calorimeter. So we have the fixed volume calorimeter, so it is going to give you the delta U in the question, okay, with the excess of O2 at 298 Kelvin and 1 atm into HGO solid. During the reaction, the temperature increases from this to this. Okay, so we have the temperature change here. If you calculate it, it comes out to be basically, I think 12.8 and 2 is basically 14.8. Okay, so this is the temperature change here. If the heat capacity of the bomb calorimeter and basically the bomb calorimeter heat capacity and enthalpy of formation data is given. So if you look into the unit of this, it is basically the total heat capacity actually, okay, because there is nothing like a mole or gram is reported there. So I can say that this is the CT value, the total heat capacity of the bomb calorimeter, and this is 20 kilojoule per Kelvin, okay. And then this is basically the delta HF naught of this Hg liquid, okay. So this value is also given in the question. There is a delta HF naught of basically Hg liquid, okay. So there, sorry, Hg gas. So there is the Hg gas, and this value is given as 61.32, okay. So this is given as 61.32 kilojoule per mole, okay. This is given in the question itself at 298 Kelvin respectively. The calculated standard molar enthalpy formation of HGO solid at 298 Kelvin is x kilojoule per mole, okay. The value of modulus of x you have to determine out, because the x comes out to be the negative in calculation. So let's go for the delta U first, okay. So if you go, there is an overall reaction going on, and the reaction is that basically Hg is combusted. So if you go for the complete reaction, it's something Hg gas combusted along with O2, which is in excess given in the question itself, and this leads to formation of HGO solid, okay. This leads to formation of HGO solid, and if you balance out the reaction, it will be 2 here and it will be 2 here, okay. So this is what the reaction will look like. Now if I go for delta H of this reaction, can I say that delta H of this reaction will be equal to delta U of the reaction, okay, delta U of the reaction plus delta NGRT plus delta NGRT. So this is the formula that we use basically when we know the delta U and reaction, then we generally for determination of enthalpy of that reaction we use this equation, okay. Now the thing is, if you go for delta Ng in this reaction, the delta Ng is nothing but the stoichiometric difference of product gaseous moles, product gaseous product minus the reactant, okay. So if you go for this, it will be minus 3 here. Just substitute it here, so it will be basically equals to delta U of the reaction, and remember whatever you are doing is for 2 mole of the mercury, okay. So it is for 2 mole, it's not for the single mole, it's basically for the 2 moles, okay. So here it will be equals to minus 3 RT, okay. Now the value of R is given in the question itself, and the T is also given to you, okay. You have to just substitute it here. Before that we have to calculate the delta U of the reaction. How to calculate that? So we know that delta U overall, because here the overall energy is due to the reaction, it will be equals to Ct dt, okay. It will be equals to Ct, which is the total heat capacity into change in temperature, okay. So just substitute it and it will be 20 into 14.8, and remember one very important thing is that this is the energy which is releasing, because the temperature has risen, okay. So the temperature has risen, so basically we can easily say that this is the energy which has released, okay. So we will be reporting it with the minus sign, okay. So this is the amount of energy that is involved in the whole reaction. Just put the value here and it will be equals to 296 minus 3 times into R value. What is the R value? R value is 8.3, and temperature value in the given in the question is 298 divided by 1000, okay. So you have to solve this. Now what is basically delta H reaction? How to determine out delta H reaction from the given data? So if you look closely into the given data, then I can easily say that here basically I can say that delta H of the reaction will be equal to, from the formation we are calculating this, it will be equals to delta H formation of the product minus delta H formation of the reactant. So it will be equals to 2 times HGO solid, which we have to calculate actually, because this is what is asked in the question, which is given as X, and then minus it with the basically here that will be delta HF naught 2 times of this mercury, okay, because for oxygen it will be 0, that is at the standard condition, okay. So it will be equals to mercury here. So this is the equation, and calculate the delta H reaction from here, keep it here and just these values and you will get the answer of it, okay. So it's very simple question. If you solve it to the color everything, you put the values and solve it, then it will come out to be 90 point, basically the correct answer is 90.39, okay. So this is what your answer is basically, okay. So if you solve it, this will be your answer. The answer comes out to be minus 90.39, but we have to report modulus of X, okay. So we have to take just the magnitude part, not the sign part, okay. So this is the first question of the paper. Now going to the next question, okay. So the next question is the reduction potential of MnO4 minus to Mn solid is given, and there are some data which is given to you, and if you go for all the data, then you will finding out that in the first data, which is basically this conversion, MnO4 minus basically here Mn is in +7 oxidation state. When it gains basically 3 electrons, it get converted into MnO2. I am not going for the balancing of the reactant. Why? Because it is not required actually in this question, okay. Just you have to remember the n factor, because this type of questions are done by delta G value, and delta G is equals to minus NF E naught. So you need just two datas, N and E naught. You don't need the whole overall balancing data, okay. So you don't need that. So here the N is 3, and if you go for the next reaction which is given there, the next change, which is basically MnO2 is getting converted, MnA2 along with the gain of 2 electron, it is getting converted into Mn2 plus, okay. And then the third change, if you observe, it is basically given that Mn2 plus again gains 2 electron to convert itself into basically Mn solid, okay. So these are the conversions which are taking place there. Here there are 2 electrons, here there are 2 electrons, and their E values are also given. Now what is the reaction for which we have to calculate the exact value is this, where MnO4 minus along with the gain of 7 electron is converting into Mn solid. So if you look closely here, you can say that if you add the reaction number 1, 2 and 3, then you will get the net reaction, okay. So I can easily say that here the net reaction is basically addition of the reaction number 1 plus 2 plus 3, okay. So it's basically addition of reaction number 1 with reaction number 2, and it is again the addition of reaction number 3, okay. Now we know that if we add the reaction, the Gibbs energy also gets added, okay. So basically if I write down the delta G of the net, it will be equals to delta G1 plus delta G2 plus delta G3, okay. It will be equals to this. Now we just keep the values by using this method, this formula. So the delta G net for this reaction will be equal to how many electrons are changed in the net reaction? 7 of them are changing. So it will be 7 into basically E naught of MnO4 minus to basically Mn, okay, where as if you write down the delta G1, it will be equals to E naught of this into basically 3, okay. So it will be minus 3, here also it will be minus, and F will be cancelled out. So I am not writing the F here, F will be cancelled out, the Faraday constant will cancelled out, okay. So it will be 3 into this value. What is the value? 1.68, then basically it will be minus 2 into this, so it will be 2 into 1.21, okay. Then again it will be plus. Why I am doing plus? Because minus and the value is again minus, so minus into minus will be plus, so it will be 2 into 1.03. Now just solve it, whatever the value you get, just divide that by the 7 and you will get your answer. The answer comes out to be 0.77. I have already given you the concept, just the calculation is there, just put the values, just solve this and then divide by the 7 and you will get your answer, okay. So this is the question number 2 of the advanced paper. All the questions have very good amount of calculation and very good amount of heuristic and very good amount of concepts are involved in all the questions. One thing that is very good in this paper, that none of the questions contradict any of the concepts basically, okay. So let's go to the next question here, okay. A solution is prepared by mixing this much mole of each this, okay, in 100 ml of the water. So the solution is remaining same. pH of the resulting solution. So what will happen here basically, there is an acid, weak acid H2CO3 and there is a base NaOH. So there will be reaction between these two where this is present in 0.01 mole and this is present in 0.01 mole, okay. And if you observe this, easily you can say that basically this is going to be the limiting reagent, okay. So here it will form basically NaHCO3, okay, it will form NaHCO3 and the amount of NaHCO3 that is going to calculate after the reaction, it will be not there, it will also be not be there, it will be equals to 0.01, okay, and this too will be consumed during the reaction. So in the final solution it will not be there, this will also be not be there, only these two things are remaining, okay. So if you observe it clearly, it will be equals to NaHCO3 and basically Na2CO3, okay. And here the amount of this is basically earlier it was 0.01 and 0.01 it come from here, okay. So it will be equals to 0.01 and this will be 0.01 which is given in the question, okay. So we can easily see and tell that this is a buffer, nothing else, okay. This is the buffer which was formed by basically HCO3 when releases an electron to proton to form basically this, okay. So if I have to consider a pKa value here, I have to consider pKa 2 because the buffer is formed by this ion, it is not formed by H2CO3. The buffer of this compound NaHCO3 and along with H2CO3 would be for first removal of hydrogen, then we will be considering pK1, but here it is for this acid, so it will be, we will be taking the value of pK2 in this question, okay. And this is the amount of salt and basically this is the salt concentration and this is the acid concentration which is involved there, okay. I can say that in the buffer. So if you write down the formula of the pH is equals to pKa plus log of salt upon acid, okay. So salt upon acid, this is the formula, just put the values. So pKa2, we have to keep basically pKa2 here. So pKa2 is given in the question as 10.32, okay, and so it will be equals to 10.32 plus log of salt. So the salt concentration was 0.01 and the acid concentration was 0.02. If you solve it, it comes out to be minus log 2 which is 10.32 minus log of 2 which is equals to 0.3, so it will be 10.02. So this is the perfect answer for this question, okay. So the correct answer for this is 10.02. I hope that these questions are clear to everyone, okay. Going to the next question. So this is the next question and this question is from very good application of P block along with the stoichiometry, okay. So the question is the treatment of aqueous solution of copper nitrate is CuNO3 whole twice, okay. This data is not given in the question actually, the molar mass of copper nitrate, I have kept that in the slide for the calculation, easier calculations, okay. You can do that basically by using this data which was provided by them. With excess Ki results in a brown solution along with the formation of a precipitate, okay. So if I go for this reaction where copper nitrate, that is CuNO3 whole twice, react with excess of Ki, okay. So when it reacted with excess of Ki, actually what will happen that on the first step it will form CuI2, but remember that CuI2 is not very stable because of I minus, okay, because this is the oxidizing agent, so it will basically oxidize it and basically convert into the Cu2I2, okay. So sorry, reducing agent, so it will reduce it and here you will be getting the final product as Cu2I2, or you can write it down this as a CUI, just use any one of them as a, for the calculation purpose, along with the release of I2, okay. Now they are saying that passing H2S through this brown solution, so we know that this is basically that this I2 which is I have written here, it will be in the solution itself only because they are using the solution, it is not released as a gas actually. So here it will be basically this I2 will be passed through H2S because this I2 is brown, in color, okay. So it will be passed and it will basically reduce, oxidize the sulfur as H2S to sulfur and reduces itself into Hi, okay. So if I go for the balancing of it, I think, don't go for the balancing right now, I will go for that, okay, later on. So first of all, let's find out something what is asked in the question. So brown solution another gives the precipitate X, the amount of sulfur they have asked, okay. So they are asking the precipitate S amount. So for copper nitrate, the mass is given for this much, okay. And whether the reaction is balanced? No, it is not balanced. So just balance out the copper here because this is required. Copper is required because we are going for one of them for the calculation purpose. So this is somewhat I look like a balanced reaction. Let's write down the, don't go for the potassium balancing on all that, okay. These are not required conditions here. So just one thing is very important, that for 2 mole of this, 1 mole of this is going to be produced, okay. So for 2 mole of this, if you want to balance it out, just write the byproduct here, KNO3, and balance it, okay. It's very simple to balance, it's not very difficult, I would say that, okay. So if somebody want to balance it out, balance it, something like this, okay. If somebody wants, I have balanced it for you, okay. So now what will happen here, basically you have basically I2, KNO3 and everything. For 2 mole of this, 1 mole of I2 is generated. Now let's calculate the moles of basically copper nitrate, okay. So if you calculate the moles of copper nitrate, it comes out to be, the given mass is 3.74 and the molar mass is 187, okay. So if you go for this calculation, it comes out to be 0.02. So for 2 mole it generates 1. So for 0.02 it will be generated what? 0.01, okay. And if it is 0.01, then let's see this. I2 plus H2S goes to give you sulfur plus 2 times of Hi. This reaction is balanced, okay. So for 0.01 mole of this, 0.01 mole of this is produced, okay. So now we know the moles of sulfur, so we know the mass of sulfur. What will be the mass of sulfur? It will be equals to given moles into molar mass, that is 32, so it will be equals to 0.32 grams. So this is the perfect answer for this question. So the answer is 0.32 gram, okay. I hope that this question is clear. It's a simple application of stoichiometry. Just you have to remember this reaction, okay. And if you want to balance it, you can balance it out, or otherwise without balancing also you can proceed and you can solve it, okay, by applying the POAC. Now going to the next question, dissolving this much of the white phosphorus in the boiling NaOH. Okay, so we know that if we treat any non-metal along with the strong base, then disproportionation take place. So here disproportionation will take and the product formed will be PH3 along with NaH2PO2. Okay, so these are the formed product in this reaction, okay. So these are the formed product in this reaction, and if you want it, you can balance it out also. In an inert atmosphere gives a gas Q. So this is the gas Q, okay. So this is the gas Q. The amount of CuSO4 required to completely consume the gas Q, okay. So basically there is a reaction of CuSO4 along with the PS3. Here copper phosphide get basically formed, okay. So the product that will be formed here is basically cupric phosphide, something like this, okay. Just a minute, it will be P2. Okay, it will be this along with the release of H2SO4. Okay, I haven't seen that whether the reaction is balanced or not. So 2 is required here, so it will be 3 actually, 3 and then 3 on this side. So this is balanced. Now look into the above reaction whether this is balanced. It doesn't look like balanced here. So let's try to balance it out. I think this will be 3 here. Okay, so if it is 3, then we can't balance out the hydrogen here. So boiling, so we need some water also, I think, here in this question to balance it out. Okay, so this is the one of the methods. Let's go to the first method here, and the second method is that you can apply POAC to solve it. Okay, so the question is that P4 reacted with NaOH and it gives the PS3 along with the NaH2PO2. Okay, now if you go for the moles of phosphorus, it is given in the question. So moles of P4 will be amount given upon the molar mass. So here the molar mass will be, you can take just the 1P here, okay. Don't go for the 4P, it will confuse yourself. Okay, so just take one phosphorus to balance it out and something like this. So you can go for 31 also like this, or you can take basically P4 here. Okay, take a phosphorus or take a P4. There are two methods to solve this question. This is not a so difficult question. So it will be equals to 1.24 upon 124. Okay, you can use either of the moles. Just remember, in the balancing, if you take this as a calculation, then you have to take P here, and if you are taking this in the calculation, then you have to take P4 in this question. Okay, so either go for P4 or either go for this. Both will be giving you the same answers. Okay, so if you go for this, then the moles of this compound is going to be basically 0.01. Okay, from this they are creating this and asking you the amount of this, what will be consumed. Okay, so for the calculation purpose, just looking into this, let's balance it out and find out how many moles will be consumed. So here, how many moles of hydrogen has been used? Basically 5 moles has been used, and if you go for this, then 3 moles of this will work. Okay, so if you keep the 3 here, how many hydrogen now they are consuming? 3 and 6. So 9 of the hydrogen atoms are getting consumed in this reaction. Okay, so you require to balance out this reaction. Rather than balancing, go for the POAC, it will be easier. Okay, so here there are basically whatever the phosphorus atoms are there, they are converting into this and this. Okay, and then basically that phosphorus atoms are going into this. Okay, so basically it will be easier to solve the questions. Okay, so remember, in this question you have to just balance the reaction, and once you balance the reaction, you will be getting the correct answer. Okay, there is nothing to worry about this question. It's a very simple calculative question just. Okay, if you are able to calculate this, then you can be able to calculate this. Okay, just the balance the reaction. Okay, peacefully. Going to the next question. Okay, going to the next question. Oh, so this is the question which was very good, because most of the student does a mistake. They think that this bromine is in conjugation, so it will not undergo what? Basically doesn't participate in the AgBr formation, but it's not basically that in the Carius method you use any AgNO3. In the Carius method, we first create a soda lime mixture which basically gives you the sodium concentrate of it. Okay, so here all the bromine will participate. Okay, it doesn't matter whether it is in conjugation or not, it doesn't matter. Okay, so here we have to basically go for this only. Okay, so here what will happen? First of all, let's go for this reaction where red phosphorus and Br2 has been used. So the R will be, if I go for the R will be something like this, benzene, and then there will be a bromine, and then there will be other bromine. Okay, so here one bromine is there, another bromine is there. So there are 2 bromine in this. Okay, so what will happen here? You will be getting basically 2 AgBr in this reaction. You will be getting 2 AgBr in this reaction. Okay, because of the 2 bromine atom which are involved in this organic compound, so you will be getting 2 AgBr in this reaction. Now, on estimation of the bromine in 1 gram of R, so this is basically taken 1 gram. This is taken as 1 gram. Okay, good enough. And the molar mass of R is 250. This is not given in the question. This is I have included in the slide just for the faster calculation. Okay, using the Carius method. So whatever the mole of this, 2 moles of this compound is going to form. Okay, so we now know the moles of AgBr. Okay, so we know the moles of AgBr produced. Okay, so the mole of AgBr produced is basically equal to 2 by 2 into, I would say that 2 into 1 by 250. Okay, so twice of this moles, and the moles of this is given mass upon molar mass. Okay, so given mass upon molar mass into 2 is the moles of AgBr produced. So the mass of AgBr produced can be easily calculated. So the mass of AgBr produced. So in this question, if I calculate the mass of AgBr produced, it will be equals to, because the molar mass of AgBr is basically 188, so it will be 2 upon 250 into 188, which comes out to be approximately 1.50 grams. So this is the correct answer of it. Okay, I hope that this question is clear to everyone. This question is from the Carius method though, but the question involves a good application of this stoichiometry and the mole concept. Okay, so going to the next question, the weight percentage of hydrogen in Q. Okay, so there is a compound. So let's go for first. So most of you may remember this is the Dawes process. Okay, the first reaction they are talking here is the Dawes process. Okay, and in this Dawes process, what happens? phenol formation take place. Okay, so in the first step it is going to give you the phenol, it is going to give you basically the phenol. And now when you are treating it, first concentrated H2SO4 and then with the concentrated HNO3. Why? The question is why? Because if you use the concentrated HNO3 directly, it's a very strong oxidizing agent, and if it's a strong oxidizing agent, it will give us some byproduct. Okay, then the percentage composition of major product will disturb. That's why they are using basically first concentrated H2SO4. So when you are using concentrated H2SO4, the sulfonation will take place. What will take place? The sulfonation will take place, and once the sulfonation take place here, then it will basically deactivate the ring. Now the concentrated HNO3 can't oxidize it as much as it was basically oxidizing it earlier. Okay, so now if you use here the concentrated HNO3, the only possible product will be the trinitrophenol. Okay, so you will be getting this as a product here, OH, and then there will be NO2, then there will be NO2, and then there will be NO2. Okay, so this is formed as a product Q. Now just remember one thing, this is not given in the question. I know that this is the product, so I have written it here just for the faster calculation. They are asking you the percentage of hydrogen in Q. So what will be the percentage of hydrogen? Percentage of hydrogen will be mass of hydrogen, whatever it is present there in the compound, upon total mass, that is the molar mass, into 100 So the mass of hydrogen is, in the final product, one hydrogen is there, another hydrogen is there, and another hydrogen is there. So there are 3 hydrogen molecules. So the total mass is 3. The mass of hydrogen is 3 and the total mass is 229 into 100, and if you solve it, it comes out to be approximately, I think, 1.31. Okay, so the answer, final answer of this question comes out to be 1.31, and I hope that the question is too simple to solve. Okay, it's very simple question and the application of stoichiometry. Now going to the next question. The next question is very good question, and it involves a lot of organic reactions. So let's go for the reactions first and then find out the answer. So here if you observe, it is acetylene, and when you treat the acetylene with the iron hot tube, then basically it goes for the aromatization. This reaction is known as aromatization of hydrocarbons. So here what happened, that if you go for the A, it will be benzene actually. Okay, so it will be benzene. Now when basically you have substituted it with the, it has formed basically benzene. So 3 moles of it basically get consumed to produce 1 mole of benzene. Okay, so this is A. Now when you are treating the A along with this compound where basically Cl is there and AlCl3, what happens in basically alkylation? The first thing that happens in the alkylation is that it creates a carbocation, which is the most stable, and that most stable carbocation actually goes for the substitution. Okay, electrophilic aromatic substitution. So the final product that you are going to get here is somewhat like this. Okay, now this is the cumene compound, and when you treated it with the cumene along with the release of acetone. Okay, so remember here they are saying that there should be not acetone. Okay, because when the cumene is subjected to basically oxidation, then there are 2 products. Okay, then there are 2 products actually when the cumene is subjected to what? Hydrolysis and the oxidation, then there is the formation of 2 products, phenol along with the acetone. Okay, along with the acetone. So there is the production of acetone, but we don't have to consider the acetone, they have already given in the question. Okay, so we have to remove that. Then when you treat it basically with the acetyl chloride, it's going to basically give you the acetyl product. It is basically going to give you the acyl product. So what happened, that it attacks here and remove this Cl here, and the final product that you are going to get here is basically OC double bond O and CH3, and this is the D. Okay, this is the D. Now what are the calculation involved in this question? So if you go for the calculation, they says that if the reaction sequence is given below is carried out with the 15 moles of acetylene. So you started with the 15 moles of it. Okay, so we started with the 15 moles of it. The amount of product D formed in gram. Okay, so you have to give that. Now if you observe here, there is a simple thing. For 3 moles it is formed 1. So for 15 it will be formed how much? 12. Okay, it will be formed how much? 12. Sorry. For 3 it is forming 1. So for 15 it will be forming what? 5. But only 80% is the yield. So 80% of the 5 is, basically 4 moles. Okay, So there is only 4 mole of benzene. If there is 4 mole of benzene, 50% of this will be here, so it will be 2 mole. So it will be 2 mole, and 50% of this will be C. So what is the 50% of 2? 1 mole. So here it is 100%, so it will be 1 mole only. So the final product will be only 1 mole. So the mass of the they are asking you the mass, no? Yes, in the gram they are asking what is the product form. So whatever the molar mass, and the molar mass for the D is 136. So the perfect answer will be the 136 only. Very simple question, I would say that. Okay. Going to the next question. Okay. So from here onwards, you will be basically getting the questions which are multiple correct, I think. Okay. So for diatomic molecules, the correct statement about the molecular orbital formed by the overlapping of this. So there are two possibilities. They didn't give you the possibilities here. So if you go for the pz orbital, if I take this as a z axis, so there will be this type of pz orbital with the positive and negative lobes. There are two possibilities. There can be two type of overlapping. There can be axial overlapping. Okay, there can be axial overlapping, or there can be lateral overlapping. Okay, but we are going for the MO diagram, so I can say that easily this will not be considered here. Here we can say that this will go for the sigma overlapping, and here it will go for the pi overlapping. In this, there is some problem in the question, I would say that. Okay, what is the problem in the question? Just listen carefully. The problem is the first statement looks like very good, and it should be the part of the answer. Okay. So let me show you this slide. Basically, I have taken this from the NCERT itself. So if you go for the sigma bond formation, okay, if you go for the sigma bond formation in this, for example, here basically 2pz and 2pz's are taken for sigma bond formation. So what happened that go for the bonding MO. Okay, so this is the second one is basically the bonding MO. Okay, the second one is basically the bonding MO, and this is basically the anti-bonding MO. Now the problem with the bonding MO in this question is that here people say that after, if you look carefully into this or closely into this, you will be saying that this look like this. Okay, there were the positive lobes and there are two small negative lobes. Now the problem is in the NCERT, if you look closely, there is nothing like a line which passes here. In the NCERT, there is nothing like a line passes here. Okay, so there may be possibility that when the final answer key comes for the advanced examination, they will not consider this. Okay, that there are two nodal planes, because the exact image which is there in the NCERT look like this. Okay, it look like this actually. Okay, exact image in the NCERT look like this. This is the negative, this is the negative, and this is the positive lobe. So it is not actually the plane. So it's not actually the plane. It's basically a spherical node. Okay, it's not actually the planar node, it's a spherical node. So that's the problem in this question. That first option may be correct if we follow our general convention, but I think they will go for the NCERT, and if they go for the NCERT, then the first option will not be in their answer. So this option itself creating a problem. Okay. Now the second is that sigma star, which means anti-bonding orbital, has one node in xz plane. Okay, so if you look closely here in this, so if the orbitals in this they are talking about, if this is the z axis, okay, so if this is the z axis, let's talk about it. Okay, so if this is the z axis, okay, so the nodal plane which is there is basically in the xy plane. It is not in the xz plane actually. Okay, so it's incorrect. The second statement is incorrect. Okay, so the second statement is incorrect. Okay, so this is not the answer. Now going for the C, pi orbital has one node in the plane which is perpendicular to the molecular axial. So they are talking about pi orbital and pi star. Okay, so let's see that in one slide, and has one node in xy plane. Okay, so let's find out it. Here they are saying that the node is in the perpendicular to the molecular axis. Okay. So this is for the pi, this is for the pi. So for pi anti-bonding, yes, there is a basically nodal plane which is there in basically xy plane. Okay, so the statement number 4 is correct. But if you go for the pi bonding which is there, you will be finding it out that there is a nodal plane in between this, okay, between these two lobes, and which is not actually in the xy plane. Okay, so this is incorrect. This is incorrect because it is in the that plane. Okay, so the statement number C is incorrect actually. So this is also incorrect. Only correct option is D. So the answer possible for this question maybe have two type of answers. Either it will be AD or only D. Okay. Why? I have already explained you that A options can be basically a something that we follow it, but in NCERT, remember that in the NCERT it is given that this is not, if you go for the NCERT and find out the chemical bonding and MO diagrams there, you will not be getting this. Okay. They have indicated all the nodal plane, but in this they haven't indicated any nodal plane. Okay, so this will be contradicting with the NCERT. So there may be huge chances that they cancel out these options. Okay. Okay. So going for the next. Now, let's go for the next question. So the next question is related to the adsorption process, which is very simple question, I would say that. Okay. So the first statement, chemisoption results in a unimolecular layer. Completely true, because they involved a bond formation between two layers. So if two layers have already formed a bond, then the other layer can't come on that. Okay. So basically this is the correct statement. So option number A is correct. There is no doubt in that. Going for the next one is basically the enthalpy change during the physioption is in range. No, it is basically lesser than 100, or it is in range of 0 to 40. It's not 100 to 140. It's basically from 0 to 40. Okay. So the correction should be 0 to 40. So this statement is not correct. Option number B. Now going for the option number C, chemisoption is an endothermic process. No, heat is released in the chemisoption. So it's basically an exothermic process. So this statement is incorrect. Lowering the temperature favors physiosoption process. Yes, chemisoption is favored by basically higher temperature, and physiosoption is favored by basically lower temperature, because at lower temperature particles have low kinetic energy, so they can easily settle on the surfaces. Okay, so this is what we observe in this. So this statement is correct. So the correct answer for this will be A and D. Going to the next question. Sorry. Sorry. Going for the next question. The electrochemical extraction of aluminium from bauxite ore involves. So they are asking you from the bauxite. So let's find out the options. The reaction of Al2O3 with coke. No, this is not the process involved. We basically go for electrolytic reduction. We don't go for this process. Okay, and that too at this high temperature. Never. This is totally incorrect, because to maintain temperature greater than 2000 degrees Celsius is never economically possible, first of all. Okay, and the second thing is that basically this reaction doesn't take place in the actual metallurgical process. We go for basically what? We go for the electrolytic reduction. So this is not the correct way. Okay, going for the B option, the neutralization of the aluminate. So aluminate is basically NaOH when subjected to basically aluminium aluminium oxide, then it basically gives formation to NaAlOH whole 4. Okay, so this is the compound which is formed, or this is also written as basically NaAlO2. This is called as sodium aluminate. Okay, solution by passing CO2. Okay, so if you pass this with basically CO2, then what will happen? Basically the basic nature is due to NaOH. Okay, or basically due to sodium. So we have to replace that sodium. So when you treated that with the CO2, it will form basically Na2CO3. Okay, because of the basic nature of this and the acidic nature of this oxide, Na2CO3 will be formed in this reaction along with the release of Al2O3. Okay, so now which Al2O3 basically earlier was in basically associated with the basic solution is now not associated with the base. Okay, because it is a form of PPT, so it will be removed here and this will be separated. Okay, so now the neutralization has took place because of the basic nature has been removed. Okay, so this is correct, there is no doubt in that. Now the dissociation of Al2O3 in hot aqueous NaOH. Yes, there is the dissolution. I have already given you the reactions. Okay, so this is correct. The electrolysis of Al2O3 mixed with cryolite and aluminium gives this and this. Yes, it's true. What happens basically? That basically if you go, then you will get aluminium at cathode in this electrolytic reduction, if you have studied it very detail, and then CO2 at basically anode. Okay, so this is what we get the product of electrolytic reduction. Okay, so this is what happened in the whole Herold cell. So the option number D is also correct. So the correct answer will be B, C and D. Okay, going for the next question. So this is the question, the treatment of galena with HNO3 produces a gas that is, okay. So this is very famous reaction if you remember, that whenever the PBS, that is Galena, treated with HNO3, then basically it produces lead nitrate, along with release of water, sulfur and NO gas. Okay, so this is released as a gas. So they are talking about a gas which is basically NO. Okay, so if go for the NO, it's a paramagnetic gas. Okay, it's basically a paramagnetic gas due to odd electron species. Okay, so this is also odd electron species, but this is not colored, okay, as NO2. So this is the basically colorless, and this is neutral gas. There are only 3 gases in the nature which are neutral: carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxide, and NO, nitrous oxide, and N2O. Okay, so this has been already asked. So what are the correct answers? Paramagnetic, bent in geometry? No, linear. It's actually linear in geometry. Okay, so it's linear in geometry, so this option gets rejected. And acidic? No, it's a neutral oxide. It's a colorless. Yes, so the correct answers are option number A and D. Okay, going for the next question. So here is the another question, and this is also I think multiple correct. Considering the reaction sequence given below, the correct statement is. So do you remember the first reaction? It's a very famous reaction, Hell-Wohlert-Zelensky reaction. Okay, HVZ. We call this as a reaction as a HVZ reaction. So this is Hell-Wohlert-Zelensky reaction. So what happened here in HVZ reaction? The alpha carbon gets substituted. Okay, so if I go for the P product here, it will be something like this. There will be bromine which will be substituted, and then COOH. Now if you go for the next reaction, which is from the P to Q, is Gabriel thalamide reaction, which generally or which mostly gives you basically 1 degree amine. Okay, so it will basically replace this bromine, and here they will give a product like 1 degree amine, NH2 and COOH. Okay, so this will be the final answer, Q. Okay, now let's check the statement. P can be reduced to primary alcohol by using NaBH4. No, COOH is not reduced by NaBH4. NaBH4 only reduces what? It reduces the aldehyde, it reduces the ketones, okay, and it reduces the acid chloride. Okay, so it reduces the acid chloride. It do not reduces the acid. So the statement number A is incorrect. Now going for the statement number B, treating P with concentrated NH4OH solution followed by acidification gives you Q. Okay, so let's check that what they are saying. Treating P with concentrated, so this is the P. If you treat that basically with NH3 aqueous, then it will be giving you the product like this, COOH, and there will be the NH2 along with the release of HBr. So here one H and Br will be replaced. Okay, so this will be the reaction, and this is nothing new reaction, it's just a substitution reaction. So this will be formed as a product. So yes, it is the Q, na? So this is correct. Going for the option number C, treating Q with a solution of NaNO2 in aqueous HCl. Yes, all the primary amine when treated with NaNO2 HCl, basically then they form basically a carbocation which is called as disonium. Okay, which is called as disonium. So here it will be forming N2 plus Cl minus COOH, and this is highly unstable. Okay, so it releases the nitrogen gas. So it is highly unstable and releases the nitrogen gas, and here nitrogen is also a good living group. This can be also a reason. Okay, so basically C will also be correct answer. Now going to the next, P is more acidic than this. Okay, so let's check. This is the P, and then they have given you basically CH3, CH2 and COOH. Okay, yes, it will be more acidic. Why it will be more acidic? Due to minus I effect. So we know that if there are electron withdrawing groups like minus I, minus R, or minus M or minus H, then they actually increases the acidic strength. So this will be more acidic than this compound. Okay, so the correct answer will be the B, C and D. So the correct answer for this will be the B, C, D. Going to the next question. So there is another multi-correct question, and the question is considering the following reaction sequence. Okay, so there are some sequence given and you have to match with each option. Okay, so there's a hectic question, I would say that. P is H2 plus PD. Okay, so what will happen in the P if you use this as a P? So I'm writing the product here Q. So the Q will be reduction of nitro group into amine. Okay, so this will be the product. Now if you treat that with NaNO2, this is the Q actually, and when you treat that with this, then basically here benzene disonium chloride formation will take place, which will be N2 plus Cl minus along with the CS3. And we know that whenever you have to convert any BDC, that is benzenium disonium chloride, into or cation into benzene, then either you use S3PO2 or you can use ethyl alcohol. They are using H3PO2. Okay, so this is the S, this is S, and when you treat it with this compound, it will basically give you the benzene. Okay, so now you will be getting something like this as a product. This is basically, and then again they are treating that with basically KMnO4. Okay, so if you treat that with the KMnO4, here what will happen? Basically it will be oxidized into the acid. So this will be your final product. So it matches with this, na? Yes, option number A is correct. There is nothing mistake in that. Let's go for the option number B. So in the P, it's SnSCl. Again the reduction will take place for the nitro group. It will convert into the primary amine. Same reaction will happen. Then HNO2, same product will be there, S, and then basically if S, this is what they are asking. Okay, so this is also correct. There is no mistake in that. Now going for the option number C, if S is this, yes, this is this, then T, what they have done here. So to going for S to this, you have treated that with the H2O. Yes, it will be replaced with OH. So this is correct, this is correct, this is also correct. Now from S, so if this is S, the BDC is S, and you treated that with ethyl alcohol, so it will be benzene. Here it will give you the benzene. So I have already told you that whenever you have to remove the BDC, just use ethyl alcohol or use S3PO2. So this will be formed as a product, and again when you treat that with this, it will be converted into the carboxylic acid. It will be converted into the carboxylic acid. So this will be your final product here. And this is also true. So option number C is also true. Now going for the option number D, Q is this. No, Q can't be this. But let's check if the Q is this. Then if you treat that with the H2PD and ethanol, okay, so what will happen there? No, you will not be getting N2 and Cl minus. If you get that, then only this is possible. Okay, it will not be giving you this product, because if you treat with this, then N2Cl will be there, NH2 will be there. Okay, and here it will be CS2, here it will be NH2, and if you treat that NH2 with water, nothing will happen actually. Okay, so this is not going to be correct. So the only perfect answer is A, B, C. Okay, now going for the next, I got Priyadarshan. Okay, 132 marks. Overall, Priyadarshan, if it's overall, then it will not be good enough, I think, to land in any IIT right now. But if it is only in some part of that, because it can't be in one part of the chemistry only, because their paper is 60, 60, 60. If it is in paper 1, that will be very fine. Okay. Now this is the question which basically requires to check the options first and then come to the question. How? Because here all possible initial concentrations has been taken. So we can't take each cases now. So just leave it. Go for the next option. Okay. So now here, where initial concentration of X are much less than XS. Okay. So they are saying that the initial concentration of X is very less than XS. So I can assume, for the case number 2 I am writing here. So I can assume that the concentration of X is basically very less as compared to XS. Okay. So in this case, what will happen here? If you resolve this equation, I can just say that X concentration plus the XS, I can write it down this as XS, okay, because this is very small, so insignificant. Okay, this is very small, so it's actually insignificant. Okay, so if you substitute it here, the rate will be equal to K, then here it will be equals to X, and below that it will be equals to XS. Okay, below that it will be basically XS. Okay, so if this is constant, just multiply it here or adjust it with this, Okay, so now I can easily say that rate will be equal to or directly proportional to x. So it's basically a first order reaction. So it's basically a first order reaction. If it is a first order, Q will match with that. Okay, no issues. Q can match with this. Okay, there are other options also which matches with this. So this will also match with that. So T is also possible. So Q and T are the perfect for this. Okay. Now go for the next option. If you look here closely, where initial concentration of X is much higher than XS. So can I say that XS plus X will be approximately equals to X, because will be approximately equals to this, because this is insignificant now. So I can write this as K mod X concentration of X upon concentration of X. Here concentrations will be cancelled out, so it will be K. So I can say that it's simply zero order reaction. Okay, so I can easily say that it's a simply zero order reaction. And if it's a simply zero order reaction, then option number S will match with this. Okay, so the option number S will match with this. Now going for the fourth, here where initial concentration of X is much higher than this. Okay, so again same case, basically we can substitute this equation as a X. So if I substitute it, it will be equals to K X square upon basically X. Okay, so one of the X will cancel out, so it will be K and X. So it's nothing but the first order reaction. Okay, it's nothing but the first order reaction. Okay, it's nothing but the first order reaction. So if it's a first order reaction, then what were the correct options? I think Q and T. Okay, so now check for third, there should be S. So we can reject these two options. Okay, for fourth, it should be either Q or T. So I can basically, and for second also, so we have this data that for second also there should be Q or T. So let's check for second. Only Q is given in this. Okay, this is S, which doesn't match to that. So the correct answer will be the option number A. So you can easily just match with the options and move to the next question. Okay, so now let's write the product first and then match them with them. Okay, so the product for the first reaction is basically, if you remember, it's just we have taught this you in the removal of hardness from the water. Okay, so basically if you go for this, it will give you MgCO3 along with basically CaCO3 as a product. Okay, and remember after some time it basically get converted into MgOH whole twice also. Okay, now the second, here basically it is peroxide. Okay, here it is basically peroxide, and whenever any peroxide is treated with acid, it basically releases the hydrogen peroxide. Then the next reaction is just the metal displacement. So here it will create CaCl2 along with MgOH whole twice. Okay, again it's the same reaction, peroxide treated with acid, so it will release H2O2 here. Then this is also the removal of basically hardness, so it will be COCO3 along with the release of H2O. Okay, along with the release of H2O. Okay, so now let's match with the options. So H2O2 matches to two things, P and basically S. No, sorry, Q and S. It matches with Q and S. MgOH whole twice, it matches with, generally it will match with R, but you can also say that it will match with the P option also. Then BaCl2, it matches with only, I think, is there any BA? Yes, here you will be getting as a byproduct BaCl2 also. Okay, so here BaCl2 will also be produced. Here BaSO4 will be produced. Okay, so BaSO4 will be produced here. So it matches with the option number S actually. And then for CaCO3, the T is a perfect match, P is also perfect match. Okay, so now check whether in which options the third one has only one pick. No? So option number B and C are getting rejected. Now H2O2 has a Q and S, so basically this is given in the both Q, it's fine. So basically you have to reject the S option, don't go for that. So we have basically to select between second and fourth. Okay, so let's go for the second. So R and P both are possible, so we can't select that. CaCO3 is there in basically P only, so only P is correct. So option number D is perfect. Okay, so it's just the elimination question rather than the all the match the columns are here elimination type of questions. Okay, so going for the next, list 1 contains the species and list 2 contains their properties. Okay, so let's write down this here. Basically this is Cr2 plus, so D4 will be the electronic configuration. Here Ru4 plus has basically D4 configuration. with basically the strong field ligands. Okay, so there is a strong field ligand here, and because for ruthenium and all that, every ligand is a strong field. Here this is a strong field, so what will happen, the pairing will take place, and if the pairing will take place basically, then there will be low spin complex. There will be basically low spin complex. Okay, so this will be going to the low spin complex, and here as the pairing has took place, T2G will contain that 4 electron. Okay, so the perfect match for this is P. Okay, number of unpaired electrons are 2, so this Q will not match there. Then low spin complex will match here. Metal ion is in +4 oxidation state. No, here it is in +2, here it is in +4, here it is in +2, and here it is in +2. Okay, so it will not match here. D4 species T, it is correct. Okay, next going for the second option, here D4 plus strong field ligand, so it will be going for the pairing, and if it goes for the pairing, it will basically give you low spin complex. Okay, it will give you low spin complex. Okay, so similar matches will be there, PRT, along with basically S also. Why S will match now? Because we know that metal is in +4 oxidation state. Okay, now going for the next option, that is the chromium H2O. So here it will be having D4 configuration. So, and no pairing will take place, as this is the WFL. So basically P will not match with this, Q will match with this. Okay, because there are 4 unpaired electron, not a low spin complex, it's basically a high spin complex. Okay, so it will be Q and T option. Now going for this has basically D6 configuration, and it has a D6 configuration, and basically WFL is present there, so no pairing will take place. Still it has basically 4 unpaired electrons, and in D6, if whatever the filling is there, T2G will contain 4 electron. Okay, so P will match with this, and the option will match Q. Okay, so PQ is the perfect, and so only option where the PQ is given is basically the first one. So the first one will be the perfect answer for it. Okay, now going for the next question. So this is the match the compound of list 1 with the observation of list 2. So let's write down this compound. So aniline is this. Okay, so aniline is this, where NH2 is present. Orthocresol is this, where basically CH3. Then cytosine SH, CH2, CH, NH2 and COOH is present, and caprolactam is something like this. There will be NH double bond O and then a 6-member ring. Okay, something like that. Now it contains carbon and nitrogen, so in the sodium extract it will be giving NaCN. Okay, here it is phenol, it will not be giving any major test. Here in the sodium extract it will be forming NaSCN. Okay, and here it will again go for NaCN. Now let's check the options. So sodium fusion, extract of the compound, boiling with FeSO4 followed by the acidification gives the Persian blue. So what is the Persian blue compound? If you look carefully, it's basically FeCN whole 5NO. So this is the complex. Okay, this is the complex actually. And if you look closely, it contains cyanide ion. So we need carbon and nitrogen in our compound, so that only it can give this test. Okay, so what are the correct match to this? This and basically this. Okay, so the perfect match for basically, so P will be here and P will be here. Okay, now second, sodium fusion extracted from the compound treated with the sodium metaperoxide gives the red color. So the red color is basically due to the ferric thiocyanide. Okay, so this is due to FeSCN whole thrice. So it should contain sulfur, carbon as well as nitrogen. Okay, so it matches with only one option, that is the third one. So Q matches with this. Now R, addition of the compound to the saturated solution of NaHCO3 results in the effervescence. So with NaHCO3, either the acid should be more acidic than orthonitrophenol, or it should be carboxylic acid to give the effervescence, that is because of the release of CO2. So what will happen here? In none of the option there is any of the acid which is greater acidic than the orthonitrophenol, but there is a carboxylic acid. Okay, and that carboxylic acid is the cytosine. Okay, so it will match with this option also. So third matches with basically R also. Okay, now the compound react with bromine to give a white precipitate. So remember that if you treat the aniline, then it will basically produce a trinitroaniline, and that tribromoaniline, and that tribromoaniline has a white PPT. So this matches with this option PS. Okay, still we don't have any answer for the orthocresol. Let's check that option number T. Treating the compound with neutral FeCl3 solution produces vital red color. So this is the test for enol. So you may remember that this is the test for enol. Okay, so all the phenol gives this test. Okay, so it will give the test. So it will matches with the T option. Now you can just go for the options where this is given. So I think the perfect answer for it is basically the D. Okay, so this is the answer for this question. Okay. So this is all from the chemistry side. I have finished the discussion of the chemistry paper, and if you have any doubt, then you can write down in the video, or basically you can go to our app and ask those doubts regarding any paper and any discussion which is going on there, or any concept. We will be dealing with that. Okay, so now the math sir will be joining you and with the math paper discussion just after a break of 5 minutes. Okay, so just wait for that.
Hi dear students, hi everybody. Yeah, good evening. So let us see the solutions of JEE Advanced 2022 P1 math part, right dear students. So far you might have seen physics and chemistry part. Let us see math part. Undoubtedly math part this time paper 1 is, I can say, easy, or rather moderate, I can say easy, because the questions are almost reachable, right dear students. So math part I am going to do, right. So let me take up this. Yes, so this is the first question. Considering only the principal values of the inverse trigonometric functions, the value of this particular expression. Here you just try to take tan inverse root 2 by pi as theta. That means tan theta is going to be root 2 by pi. So which is positive, dear friends. So you can just take a right angle triangle kind of, let it be theta, opposite side is root 2, adjacent side is pi. You can say hypotenuse is going to be pi square plus 2. With this observation, dear friends, you can observe that this part is like, you see, sin theta, right? This is going to be 2 sin theta cos theta. So friend, the next step would be 3 by 2 into cos inverse of sin theta, means let me write cos of pi by 2 minus theta, plus 1 by 4 into sin inverse of sin 2 theta, let me write here, plus theta it is, right. Now dear friends, dear students, you can say even 2 theta, theta is acute because root 2 by pi is less than 1, 0 to pi by 4, 2 theta will be 0 to pi by 2, sin inverse of sin x will be x itself. So in the next step you can write 3 by 2 into this is pi by 2 minus theta, plus this is 1/4 of 2 theta plus theta. So you can say this is 3 pi by 4 minus 3 theta by 2 plus theta by 2 plus theta. So these will get cancelled. Your answer is going to be 3 pi by 4. You just try to give pi value 3.14 approx, 3 by 4 is 0.75. You are going to get the answer to be 2.35 approx. 2.35 or 36 it would be. You just compute a simple question from inverse trigonometry, right. The next, my dear friends, you can say, yeah, second question, yeah, this is the one. You are given f of x is sin of pi x by 12, g of x is this particular function, then the value of f of g of x. If g of x is continuous at alpha plus, you can say, my dear friends, you can take this limit as f of limit extends to alpha plus g of x we can find, so that f of that is going to be the answer for this. Right, dear students. So to find this limit, so alpha is undoubtedly some real number, you just try to find limit extends to alpha. Limit extends to alpha plus, you can say twice of log of root x minus root alpha by, you can say log of e power root x minus e power root alpha base e is given. If you put alpha, you will get 0 by 0. So by L'Hospital's rule, you can say limit extends to alpha plus, this is going to be, dear friends, log x derivative 2 will be there, log x derivative 1 by x into root x derivative 1 by 2 root x divided by, here also by L'Hospital's rule, 1 by e power root x minus e power root alpha into e power root x derivative e power root x into root x derivative 1 by 2 root x. These two parts get cancelled, and as extends to alpha, this becomes e power root alpha. So the next step, this becomes, dear friends, limit extends to alpha plus. You can just take 2 will be there, this becomes e power root x minus e power root alpha by, you can say root x minus root alpha into, you can say as extends to alpha plus e power minus root alpha you will get. Here also you take e power root alpha common, these two get cancelled, this will be like limit extends to alpha plus 2 into e power root x minus root alpha minus 1 by root x minus root alpha, as extends to alpha this goes to 0. So e power t minus 1 by t, as t tends to 0 will become 1. So this limit is going to be 2, and hence, my dear friend, this is going to be f of 2. F of 2 means put x is equal to 2, sin pi by 6 is 1 by 2. So you see this is going to be f of 2, my dear friends, which is 1 by 2, say 0.5 is going to be the answer. That's it. Next question, you can see, yeah, third question, you see this is the question related to the study about a pandemic. Data of 900 persons was collected. It was found that 190 persons had symptom of fever. Fever, let me take the set as A, cough means C, breathing problem is B, you name, for easiness to avoid confusion. Now 330 persons had symptom of fever or cough or both, means P of, you can say A union C is given, right, 330. In the same way, this is cough or breathing means P of, you can say this is C union B is given. So, P of A union B will be given here, right. Now, 30 persons had all the three, P of A intersection B intersection C. Now, if a person is chosen randomly at 900 persons, what is the probability that the person has at most one symptom? Here it is simple set theory problems. Suppose this is A, this is B, this is C. We just try to fill the data from innermost one. This is given as 30, right? Fine. Now you can just take it as X, Y, Z, some you take. Now suppose if I want X, my dear friends, you are given, you see A union B data is given, you see 340 is A union B. You just take N of A intersection B as N of A is given 190 and N of B is given 220 minus N of A union B is given as 340, right. But N of A intersection B is, I can say X plus 30, right. This is going to be 220, 320, 410 minus 340 is going to be 70. So, X is going to be 40. In the same way, if you apply, you will get YZ also. So, you will get X value to be 40, Y to be like 50, Z to be like 60, right. So, I am not going to find these entries, my dear friends, because of course, I know N of A you can find, but I want just, you see, the probability of the candidates whose at that at most one symptom means, you see, these are the people who have no symptom, these are the people which have exactly one symptom. So, at most one symptom means no symptom or exactly one symptom. I write the probability as 1 minus, you see, 2 or more symptoms, X plus Y plus Z plus 30 by 900 you can write. Yes, you see X plus Y plus Z is 40, this is 150 plus 30, 180 it is, 180 means 1 minus 1 by 5, yes, which is going to be 4 by 5 is the probability, which is 8 by 10, 0.8 is going to be the answer. It is just a simple probability problem, or else I can say Venn diagram based set theory problem it is, right. Next friends, so I can say this one, you see Z be the complex number with non-zero imaginary part, that means it is definitely a complex number with some imaginary part, and given this particular complex number is a real number. So, dear friends, you just take 2 plus 3Z plus 4Z square by 2 minus 3Z plus 4Z square is suppose some real number k. K is a real number, friends. That means suppose k is a real number. In this case, you can, why don't you apply componendo and dividendo. So, numerator plus denominator will become twice of 2 plus 4Z square by numerator minus denominator is 6Z is equal to k plus 1 by k minus 1, which is again a real number. Here you can take 2, one more 2 you can take common, you will get 1 plus 2Z square, am I correct, by 6 also you can send that side, which is going to be, friends, which is you can say k plus 1 by k minus 1 into 6 you can take, or you can write by 4 here. Since k is real number, even this is also real number, friends. This you can write like 2Z plus 1 by Z is purely real, is real because is equal to this. Real number means you can just write twice of x plus iy. 1 by z means you can just multiply with z bar in the numerator and denominator. Z bar is x minus iy, z bar is mod z square, that is x square plus y square. Since it is real, imaginary part must be 0. Imaginary part is 2y minus y by x square plus y square must be 0, so these two must be equal. But y cannot be 0 according to the problem. He said its imaginary part is not 0. So you will get x square plus y square value is 1 by 2, which is nothing but mod z square, right? So mod z square value is asked, so this is nothing but 1 by 2, that's all, right friends. Next you can say, yeah, you see this question, same kind of question from complex number. You see z bar denote the conjugate. In the set of complex number, the number of distinct roots of the equation z bar minus z square is equal to I into z bar plus z square. You can write, dear friends, here z bar minus z square by z bar plus z square is equal to I. Why don't you apply componendo dividendo? You see, if you just apply numerator plus denominator is going to be 2z bar by denominator minus numerator is going to be 2z square is equal to 1 plus I by, you see, denominator minus numerator is 1 minus I, 2 gets cancelled. You know 1 plus I by 1 minus I is minus I, so z bar is equal to minus I into z square. In this case, my dear friends, you can take this is x minus iy is equal to minus I into x plus iy whole square is going to be x square minus y square plus 2xyi. So you just equate the real part is going to be x here, real part is going to be 2xy. Similarly, imaginary part is minus y here, it is going to be minus of x square minus y square. From these two equations, friends, that x has two possibilities, either x is 0 or the next step is y is equal to 1 by 2. If x is 0, friends, you are going to get minus y is equal to y square. Y has two possibilities, y is 0 or y is minus 1. If y is 1 by 2 from this, you see minus 1 by 2 is equal to y square 1 by 4 minus x square is equal to 3 by 4. X has two possibilities here, plus or minus root 3 by 2. So there are 4 solutions, 0 0 0 minus 1. You can say this is root 3 by 2 comma 1 by 2 minus root 3 by 2 comma 1 by 2. So the number of solutions, distinct solutions, is going to be 4. A simple problem related to complex numbers, number of solutions of this particular equation, right? The next, my dear friends, I can say the next question, yeah, related to this is sequence and series. L1, L2, L100 be consecutive terms of an AP with common difference D1, and W1, W2, W10 be the consecutive terms of another arithmetic progression with common difference D2. Fine. Such that D1, D2 is given as 10, then for each 1 to 100, Ri be the rectangle with length Li and width Wi and area Ai. So the first condition given is A51 minus A50 is 1000. A51 minus A50 is given as 1000. So A51 stands for area, that means L151 W151 minus L50 into W50 is given as 1000, right? Now you will see that L51, L is a 51st term of this AP, L1 plus 50 common difference is D1 into this is W1 plus 50 D2 minus, you can also write here L1 plus 49 D1 into W1 plus 49 D2. This product is going to be 1000. Right. This is simple algebra, friends. You see L1 W1 terms get cancelled, so you will get 50 times L1 D2 and 50 times D1 W1. Similarly, there you can also subtract and use the data D1 D2 is equal to 10. This is one expression. Similarly, you need this value now. A100 means, you see, L1 plus 99 D1 into W1 plus 99 D2, okay, because it is going to be, you can say, this is the area of the 100th term, right, minus A90 minus L1 89 D1 into this is W1 plus 89 D2. This expression's value is required. You see here you will get simple expression in terms of L1 D1 L2 D2, you will get L1 D2 plus W1 D1 value. L1 D2 plus W1 D1 value, you are going to get almost 990, this is 10 you are going to get. So, use this data D1 D2 is 10 and this expression data and simplify here, you are going to get this answer to be 18900, that is it. Okay. Next friends, I can say the next question. So, the number of 4-digit integers in the closed interval 2022 to 4482 formed by these digits, right. That means we are going to form a 4-digit number. So, you just write starting with 202, what are the possibilities for the 1? You can put 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. So, there are 5 possibilities because 202 is fixed. You can take this is also include, here you can fill 2 or 3 or 4 or 6 or 7, 5 possibilities. If it is 20, what could be the next step? After 2, more than 2 I am talking about. So, 3, 4, 6, 7, there are 4 possibilities. If it is 2, already 0 is already used, then 2, 3. You can also fix one thing friends, here repetitions allowed or not matters. If you feel like repetitions allowed, you can do like this. Suppose 202 is fixed, here you can fill 2 or more, that means it can be 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 5 possibilities you can fill here. If it is 20, more than 2 I am talking about, more than 2 means it can be 3 or 4, 6, 7, you can fill with this digit can be filled with any of the digits in terms of 4, and what about the last digit? It can be filled with any of the 6 digits. So, next after 2 friends, here if it is not 0, you can put 2, 3, this digit can be filled in 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 5 ways, multiplied by the other 2 can be any of the 6 digits, right. In the same way, with this we have completed the 4-digit number starting with 2. In the same way, starting with 3, in the sense if the first digit is fixed with 3, here you can fill any of the 6 digits, 6 ways, 6 ways, 6 ways, you are going to get 6 cube ways, dear friends, right. Then starting with, yeah, because I mean to say this is going to be this. Then next you can fill with the last digit to be 4, because you can take 4 means if you fix this digit as 4, now you see this must be less than or equal to 4482, right. In this case, my dear friends, suppose here you can put 0 or 2 or 3 or 4 case is also fine, because the next digit is 8 which is greater than this. This can be filled with any of the digits 0, 2, 4, 0, 2, 3, 4, I can fill here. This here I can put 0, 2, 3, 4. Once it is done, it is like up 4, 4 is done. Here you can fill any of the digits in 6 ways. Here also you can put, because the largest possible is 77 here. So, no problem, you can also fill here. This is 4 into 6 into 6 you are going to get, my dear friends. Okay. So, with these digits you sum all the cases, you are going to get the answer 5, 6, 9 around, right. So, this is the answer friends. Next I can say, yeah, this is another one, ABC be the triangle with AB1 AC3 angle BAC pi by 2, a circle of radius r greater than 0 touches the sides AB AC and also touches internally the circumcircle of the triangle ABC. You just take the right angle triangle, my dear friends. For easiness, let it be 0, 0, let it be x axis, my dear friends. AB is 1 means let it be 1 comma 0 and let it be see 3 he said. So, you can take 0 comma 3, that is fine. So, given AB is 1, angle BAC 90 degrees means this is A, this is going to be AB is 1, so this is B, this is C. Now you know for a right angle triangle circumcenter will be midpoint of hypotenuse, so you will get 1 by 2 comma 3 by 2 to be the circumcenter, which is the center of the circle passing through these. Okay, suppose this is the one. Now there exists a circle which touches these sides as well as this circle. So you see this is going to touch the x axis, y axis and this. You see outer circle center is known. Suppose inner circle is going to touch both the coordinate axes. So why can't I take that equation like x square plus y square minus 2 lambda x minus 2 lambda y plus lambda square equal to 0, whose center is lambda lambda and the radius is going to be also lambda, because it is in first quadrant I have chosen lambda is positive. So you see this is say C2, this is center C1, its radius is going to be half of the hypotenuse, hypotenuse distance is root 10, so R1 is root 10 by 2, whereas R2 is lambda. Since these two circles touch each other internally, you can just apply C1 C2 is equal to mod R1 minus R2, undoubtedly bigger is root 10 by 2 minus smaller is lambda, or you can say simply R, you can say, because he asked directly R. So or then it becomes R comma R. What is the distance, friends? 1 by 2 minus R whole square plus 3 by 2 minus R whole square under root, this is the distance between the two centers, is equal to root 10 by 2 minus R. You just solve this equation, you are going to get the value of R as 4 minus root 10. So root 10 you just find approx 3.16, so that you are going to get the answer to be 0.84. It is going to be 0.83 or 0.84 around. Okay, so it's a simple geometry based question. So without coordinate geometry also you can do this question, not a big thing, but coordinate geometry will definitely help you better. Now coming to multi-correct answer type questions, you see dear friend, this is a simple integral, so why don't you choose log x base e power 3 by 2 as t. Log x base e power 3 by 2 you choose as t, so that n into x to the power of n minus 1 into 1 by x into dx will become dt. So dear friends, you can take this, when x is 1 log this becomes 0, when x is e this becomes 1. So log x power 1 by 2 into 1 by x dx will become dt by this is a minus t whole square is the 1. This integral 1 by x square is minus 1 by x, that is 1 by a minus t by minus 1 will become this between the limits 0 to 1. So you just apply 1, my dear friend, this is 1 by a minus 1 minus 1 by a is going to be this. So which is I can say a minus 1, which is a into a minus 1 is the integral, but given this as 1, my dear friends, so you can, yeah, he said this particular integral value is going to be 1, he said, and here you see 1 by x square integral, it is going to be, you see here 3 by 2 is there, we just skipped this 3 by 2. So when you write this 3 by 2 here, it 2 by 3 comes here, right. So to take out this into dx you are going to get, so you need 3 by 2 here, you supply 2 by 3 here, so into 2 by 3 will be there, so into 2 by 3 will be there. So this into 2 by 3 will give you into 2 by 3, right. So friends, I can say this is equal to 1 means 1 by a into a minus 1 is going to be into 2 by 3, 1 means into is equal to 3 by 2. You just solve this quadratic equation, he is asking number of a satisfies the above equation, an integer a satisfies the above equation, and irrational number satisfies, just it is a quadratic equation, 3 into a square minus a is equal to 2, 3a square minus 3a minus 2 equal to 0. Undoubtedly the roots are real because here negative number is there, constant 1, and you can see that it will have irrational root, you can just solve the equation and more than one a satisfies. An integer is wrong, both are irrational roots and no a is wrong. So, the answer is going to be C and D, my dear friends. Okay? Right. Next. Next question. You see, it's a very interesting question, simple one. A1, A2, A3 be an arithmetic progression with first term 7 and common difference 8. That is fine. So, T1, T2, Tn be such that T1 is 3 and Tn minus 1 Tn is n. So, this is a sequence where first differences are in AP. So, first term is 3, the AP is going to be, you see, 7, common difference 8 means 15, 15 plus 7 is 22, yeah, 15 plus 8, right, 23, like this the first differences you are going to get, right. So, can you say the pattern in this? 3, 3 plus 7, 10, 10 plus 15, 25, so 25 plus 23, 48, this is the pattern, right. If you could decode the nth term of this is a sequence where I think you know, if the first differences of a pattern are in AP, you are going to get its nth term like, you see, an square plus bn plus c, where a is going to be half of the common difference. So, I can say a is nothing but common difference is 8, no, 4. This is 4n square plus bn plus c. If you could find b and c, the problem is done here. So, to find b and c, put n is equal to 1, 4 plus b plus c is going to be first term of this pattern, b plus c is minus 1. Put n is equal to 2, 16 plus 2b plus c is going to be the second term is 10. So, 2b plus c is equal to minus 6, b plus c minus 1, so b is going to be minus 5. If b is minus 5 here, c is going to be 4. This is 4n square minus 5n plus 4 is going to be the nth term. Now, my dear friends, just find T20, T30 and check here, you are going to get, you see, C correct, A wrong. Then sigma you just apply, and here sigma it is very easy to apply sigma Tn, which is 4 into sigma n square formula, n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 by 6 minus 5 into n plus 1 by 2 plus 4n. In this place of n, you put n is equal to 20, n is equal to 30 and verify, you will feel that B correct, D wrong will be the observation. So, the answer is going to be, you can say B, C is going to be the answer for this question. Simple, friends. Next, I can say, see this question, P1, P2 are two planes given by this. Now, which of the following straight line can be an edge of the tetrahedron whose two faces lie in P1 and P2? You see, friends, if you take a tetrahedron, suppose this is the base and here if you join, you see, so already two planes are given, you see. Suppose the line that is given either intersection of the two planes or which cuts these two, you see, suppose if you take this plane as well as this plane, this line is intersection, whereas there may be some edge which is going to intersect both the planes at two particular points. So, you just verify, you see first lines you see drs of this are 0, 0, 5. You just check whether this is perpendicular to the first plane or not, 10, 15, 12. So, not equal to 0. So, this is not perpendicular to first plane. First plane means perpendicular to the plane, that is the meaning. So, normal of the first plane. Similarly, this is not perpendicular to normal of the second plane, right. That is fine. So, it is neither perpendicular to plane 1 nor perpendicular to plane 2. There is a chance that it can be edge. So, similarly, B, C also, whereas if you see D, you can find its drs are going to be 1, minus 2, 3. This is not perpendicular to N1, normal drs of the first plane, but it is perpendicular to normal drs of second plane. You just see this is 2, 5, 4, 1 minus 2, 3, you can find dot product 0. That means this particular line is parallel to the normal, means this particular line may line parallel to the plane. So, parallel to, that means this particular line is parallel to containing in a particular plane. So, in that case it cannot be the edge, because it is not perpendicular to, it is not like somewhere it is going to intersect the other plane. So, D possibility will not be. Okay. Next friends, yeah, this is the one. You see the reflection, S be the reflection of the point Q with respect to the plane. Arey yaar, this is the plane which you can adjust, like you see 1 is a number and P is one parameter, T is one parameter. You just try to write this particular plane as P bar is equal to, you can say R bar is equal to K cap plus P coefficient, you just take out, P going to be, this is minus I cap, here P is not there, plus K cap into P, plus another one T coefficients minus I cap, then T is going to be plus J cap into T it is. So, you can say it is R bar plus 0 0 1 plus this is minus 1 0 1 into some P, P like plus this is minus 1 1 0 into K kind of, right. So, it is like R bar is equal to A bar plus TB bar plus SC bar. So, you can say, my dear friends, this is going to be a plane for which, in which this is one point, these are two parallel vectors. R bar is equal to A bar plus TB bar plus SC bar, right. So, these are two parallel vectors, right. So, you just find the equation of the plane x minus 0, y minus 0, z minus 1, minus 1 0 1, minus 1 1 1. This is the plane equation. You are going to get this plane equation to be x plus y plus z is equal to 1. So, once you find the plane equation, it is not that difficult to find the foot of the perpendicular of the particular point 10, 15, 20. Arey yaar, you know plane, this point is 10, 15, 20, you just find the foot of the perpendicular of plane point with respect to this plane. What is the procedure? We take it as HKL. So, H minus x1 by, this is x1, y1, z1. We have a standard formula to do H minus x1 by A, K minus y1 by B and all. You just try to take that point to be, it is going to be alpha, beta, gamma. A simple procedure you need to do, from which you can verify the options which are going to be correct. You can observe that A, B, C are the right answers, whereas D will be the wrong. Just simplification. Two simple problems combination it is, right. Next friends, you can say this question, you see y square is equal to 4x is a parabola. So, it is a standard parabola. You take here y square is equal to 4x, let focus be very clear 1 comma 0. Now, the pair of tangents are drawn to the parabola from the point minus 2 comma 1. From the point minus 2 comma 1, this is one tangent, this is another tangent, two tangents are drawn to this particular parabola, where you see it is going to touch at P1 and P2, this is going to be the point P. This is, I can say, minus 2 comma 1. Now, Q1, Q2 be the points on the line SP1 and SP2 respectively, such that PQ1, this is P2, this is going to be perpendicular, this is going to be perpendicular onto this. Okay. Now, dear friends, he is asking various options. It is very simple friends. Suppose it is T1 point, that means AT1 square comma 2AT1. Yeah. So, we can say like, yeah, just see this question. Yeah, dear students. Yeah, fine. You see, now this is, suppose if you take the point P1, here a T1 square comma 2a T1, anyhow a is 1, so T1 square comma 2a T1 is become 2T1. Suppose P2 is another point T2 comma 2T2. You know, so the point of intersection of the tangents drawn at T1 and T2 is going to be, you can say a T1 T2 comma a into T1 plus T2. So T1 T2 comma a into T1 plus T2. Yes, it is the point of intersection which is given as minus 2 comma 1. Can you guess what is T1 and T2? Definitely it is going to be, T1 is going to be 2, T2 is going to be minus 1. So that means we got the points P1 and P2 clearly. P1 is going to be, we can say T1 is equal to 2 means it is going to be 4 comma 4, P2 is going to be minus 1 means 1 comma, you see T2 is, we can say minus 1 means 1 comma minus 2 you are going to get, right. Once you know this, can't you find the foot of the perpendicular of P onto this line? You know both the points, find the line PS and find the foot of the perpendicular of P onto this, from which you will get Q1. Now find the line SP2, find the foot of the perpendicular of P onto this line, you will get Q2. Now the total data is available, you can find SQ1, Q1, Q2, PQ1, SQ2, all the data you can find, and you are going to get the answer accordingly. Okay. So friends, this is a simple question answer. Yeah. So this is a simple question. Yeah. Here you can say just take the point T1, T2, we can say it is just like, you see, you will get the answer to be like B, C, D here, just verify, just find Q1 and Q2 and verify, simplification, that is it, right. So friends, take T1, P1, P2, the only thing you need to require is if you could remember this formula, very cool, and you can happily answer this question, right. Fine. Next friends, then yeah, you see this is a simple question, okay, this is a simple question. So you see, you can observe one simple point, this kind of question I have seen earlier in some exam. You see, this is sin pi is 0, this is 0, this is 0. You can observe that this is going to be skew symmetric matrix. So this determinant part is going to be 0, because skew symmetric matrix of odd degree determinant is 0, whereas if you just simplify this, you are going to get finally f of theta is going to be, you can say, yeah, 1 plus sin square theta you are going to get. So now f of theta minus 1 under root g of theta is going to be, so mod sin theta in fact, plus this is 1 plus cos square theta minus 1 is going to be mod cos theta, right. So friends, in this particular expression, theta is taken in 0 to pi by 2, so I can simply say this is sin theta plus cos theta itself. So when you take this particular expression in 0 to pi by 2, we need its minimum value, maximum value. Generalized minimum value is minus root 2 to root 2, but we are taking theta from 0 to pi by 2 itself. You just take the graph of sin theta plus cos theta, 0 to pi by 2, you will get 1 to root 2 itself the range. The range is going to be 1 to root 2. So the minimum value is 1 and maximum value is root 2. Now he is asking the quadratic polynomial whose roots are minimum and maximum values of this function. So you can take this polynomial p of x is going to be, the roots are going to be 1 comma root 2 x minus 1 into x minus root 2. Of course there may be some k. To avoid this, he said p of 2 is equal to 2 minus root 2. You just put x is equal to 2, you will get 2 minus root 2. In the sense k is 1, it is going to be x minus 1 into x minus root 2 itself. Now he is asking p of something negative or positive. Array, this is a quadratic expression with two distinct real roots. You see, this is the graph, this is 1 and root 2. If you substitute this number which is between 1 and root 2, the output is negative. More than root 2 it is positive, less than 1 it is negative. What a simple question and quadratic expression. What you need to check is whether this value lie between 1 and 1.414 or not. That is what you need to check. Just check and confirm which is positive, which is negative, that is all. Okay, dear students. Next. Yeah. So, then matching kind of questions you are given, my dear friends. You see the options here, options are also play a vital role, it save time. You see cos x plus sin x is equal to 1 is the equation where x is taken minus 120 degrees to 120 degrees. Cos x plus sin x graph is very interesting and important even. At 0 it is 1, at pi by 4 it is going to be root 2, at pi by 2 it is going to be again 1, and 3 pi by 4 it is going to be 0, like this. So, this graph I know if you take 120 same way, if you take minus pi by 4 it is 0, minus pi by 2 this is down, and again root 2. This is the graph approx from minus 120 to 120 equal to 1 will have exactly 2 solutions, dear friends. So, 1 must be mapped with P only. So, you can eliminate C, D options, right. Now, you see you can go with either second bit or third bit or fourth bit. So, all are different. So, I can go with any. So, I will try to choose easy one. You see cos 2x is root 3 by 2 means cos root 3 by 2 in the sense 2x can be, you see that too x is taken from, this is more than pi, right, more than pi, 2x, this is x value, 2x means up to 2 pi, 2x can be, you can say 30 degrees minus 30 degrees you can say, and you will be getting another angle in fourth quadrant itself. So, you see in these two options P, T are the things. P means has exactly 2 solutions, has 6 elements. You see you will get more than 2 because cos 2x graph you need to draw. You see here itself we found between minus pi by 4 to pi by 4 2, and we have possibility more than 2 pi, definite more than 2 pi, this side minus 2 pi, the solutions will be definitely more than 2. So, P option A you eliminate, B is going to be the right answer, friends. Okay. Next, in the same way if you want you can try, but basically to answer this question you can close this in this way. Next friends, you see this is related to probability part, a simple one, 2 players P1 and P2 play a game against each other. If every round of the game each player rolls a fair die once, where the 6 faces of the die have 6 distinct numbers, then P1, you see if let x and y denote the readings on the die rolled by P1 and P2 respectively. If x greater than y, that means P's number is more than y, then P1 scores 5 points and P2 scores 0, fine. Whereas, if x is equal to y, then each player will get 2 marks, and if x less than y, P1 scores 0, P2 scores 5. Let xi, yi be the total scores of P1, P2 respectively after playing ith round, because here suffixes x2 means they have played only 2 rounds, x3 means they have played 3 rounds. Do not think beyond that, in the options only 2-3 rounds are there. Now, my dear friends, ideally you see the problem will have symmetric distribution. So, because you see generally when 2 dice are thrown, you see equal chance, marks are equal for both, right. For if A wins, A will get 5, B wins, B will get 5 marks, trail both will get 2, right. So, equal chance there for A and B. So, in this case also, you just try to find P of x2 is equal to y2 first, then we can compute this. P of x2 is equal to y2 means A and B must get the same scores, that is the thing. That means suppose first game A wins, B loses, or A loses, B wins, right. Both we got trial, right? That means first trial, second trial. In these three cases, you see they will get equal score, right? So first A wins means when a die is thrown, generally friends, x greater than y, you know 36 cases will be in the table, equal scores, that means equal score 1 1 2 2 kind of will be 6 out of 36, the probability is 1 by 6. X greater than y will be 15 cases, because after this 6 here 15, here 15, 15 by 36 for winning of A, 15 means 3 5s 3 12s, for losing also there will be 15 by 36, so 5 by 12. So in a particular game, in a single game for A or B, winning chance is 5 by 12, losing chance is 5 by 12, trial chance is 1 by 6. Now two such games are done, so what is the chance that A wins, B loses is 5 by 12 into 5 by 12. At the same time, same kind of A loses, B wins into 2 plus both tails, that is 1 by 6 into 1 by 6, that is 50 by 144 plus 1 by 36. Friends, you are going to get accordingly the answer, right? Yes. So you just see where x is equal to y, x2 is equal to y2. So 1 minus that and you just do the half, you are going to get, my dear friends. Yes, P x2 is equal to y2, you can just see, yeah, which is going to be, so this plus 1 by 6 into 1 by 6 is 1 by 36, you just compute it, you are going to get it as 3 by 8, my dear friends, 3 by 8. That means for x is equal to y, 3 by 8 means the remaining is 5 by 8. So for x greater than 5 by 16 and less than 5 by 16, that is the thing. I think you are getting my point. I just computed for x2 is equal to y2, which is 3 by 8. So remaining part is, we can say 5 by 8. So for x greater than y, half of this 5 by 16, x less than y 5 by 16. Now he is asking x greater than or equal to, means this plus this. This is 6 by 16, 5 plus 6, 11 by 16 is the probability. So 1 must be mapped with q. 1 is mapped with q in the sense you can take out C option, you can take out, you see, D option. Now you are left with A, B. So 1 Q, you see 2 RR, it is time waste to do second option, 3 TT, it is time waste to do third option, 4 ST, you have to do 4 ST means x3 greater than y3, you have to do. Here also you just find x3 is equal to y3, arey yaar, in both the options he has given T. For this T means 77 by 432 is, he himself has given the answer. So the remaining means 432 minus 77, you just do minus 77, this is going to be 5, this is going to be 5, 355, right. So you will get 355 is the remaining part, 355 by 432, you need to do half of this into 2. So which is 355 by 864, S is the answer for this. So which is going to be, friends, I can say option A is the right answer. Simple, you see. If you could understand the problem, you just, because the problem is symmetric, compute for x2 is equal to y2, remaining part you distribute for x2 greater than y2, x2 less than y2, that is all, right. So one interesting happy thing is, he himself has given the clue for this, you no need to compute x3 greater than y3, no cases at all, right. So friends, next I can say these are the system of equations, you can see P, Q are be the non-zero real numbers respectively of 10th, 100th, 1000th terms of a harmonic progression, right. So consider, that means, so you can say 1 by P is the 10th term of an arithmetic progression, which is 9D, and 1 by Q is A plus 99D, plus 1 by R is A plus 999D. Okay, fine. So of course you can also see, my dear friends, here 11 by Q is equal to, you see, 1 by r plus 10 by p you can observe here, because 11a and equation sets, right. That means this helps us in further calculations. The next, my dear friends, he is talking about certain system of equations here. You can find delta, which is, friends, you can say 1 1 1, this is 10 100 1000. You can write the third equation like x by p plus y by q plus z by r is equal to 1. You can write 1 by p, 1 by q, 1 by r. So, you can write a plus 9d, a plus 99d and a plus 999d. You can observe that delta is going to be 0. In the same way, you just write delta 1, delta 2, delta 3 values, and you can take common. You will be getting in terms of q by r minus 10 here, and q by r is q by r minus 10 terms, p by r minus 10 terms you are going to get. With these conditions, you check where you are going to get unique solution. Undoubtedly, this is 0 means infinitely many solutions will be there. Just need to check whether it is no solution or infinitely many solution. For this case, check all the other 3 are 0, you can say infinitely many solution, otherwise it is going to be no solution. So, you can find the answer for this particular option to be, you can say B. Okay. B option will be okay for this, that means this one, because you just check whether these particular solutions satisfy the given equations, right. The next, my dear friends, I can say, yeah, we can say this may be the last question. This is ellipse. So, this is the ellipse, dear friends. So, we can say A is 2, B is going to be root 3. He is talking about the auxiliary circle. So, this is the auxiliary circle you can take. So, dear friends, here he has taken some point, say alpha comma 0, he has done a vertical line. Suppose he has said that an auxiliary circle at the point E and F respectively. So, E and F respectively. He said this angle is phi, means eccentric angle is given. So, you can take this point as, you see, A is 2 cos phi comma root 3 sin phi it is, right. In the same way, F is going to be, you can say 2 cos phi 2 sin phi, you can say, because this is circle with center 0 0 and radius 2. Now, you need to find the tangent at E, right, to the ellipse. Tangent at E means x1, x into, you can say 2 cos phi by 4 plus y into, you see, root 3 sin phi by 3 is equal to 1. We just need the point where it cuts x axis, put y coordinate is 0. So, friends, you are going to get, it is going to be 2 by cos phi, right. This is 2 by cos phi is going to be this particular point. Now, this is named as G. Now, the straight line, and you can say, yeah, joining F and the origin makes an angle phi, he said, yeah. Now, he is asking about area of FGH, oh ho, right. Yeah, just now we have taken, dear students, this is the ellipse, this is the one auxiliary circle, this is the tangent drawn, this is G, this is F. FG, what is the other one? H. What is this H? You can just see. So, according to this question, H is this alpha comma 0, H is this point. Now, you know, my dear friends, F is going to be, I can say, A cos phi comma 2 sin phi, F is this, and you can just see G is going to be, we can say 2 by cos phi comma 0, H is going to be alpha, which is x coordinate of this, which is 2 cos phi comma 0. This is the triangle, friends. Area of this triangle, base is this HG, that is, this is 2 cos phi minus this. So, you can write 2 by cos phi minus cos phi is going to be the base. half into base into height, it is going to be this one, which is going to be the x coordinate, that is y coordinate of this, which is 2 sin phi. This is going to be the area of this triangle, dear friends. Now you can say A is going to be, you can find this is 2 minus, you can say 2 cos square phi, this is 2 cos phi, right. 2 you can take out, 1 minus cos square phi is sin square phi, 2 can be cancelled, 2 sines cube phi by cos phi you are going to get. So friends, from this I can say the area of this. He is asking various cases, phi is pi by 4, pi by 3, pi by 6, pi by 12. What you need to do is you are going to substitute these values in that particular expression. So you need to match the things, and here you will get the answer to be C option, right. So just you will get Q, T, SP combinations you are going to get, so you will get the answer. So dear students, we can say with this, yeah, this is going to be C option here, right. So dear students, with this we have done 2022 JEE Advanced. First you have seen physics solutions, then chemistry, then math. Math part, as far as math is concerned, undoubtedly it is comfortable and easy one. So like we can say, when compared to 2021, it is definitely easy, and we will have solutions of paper 2 even, right dear students.